It's time for a message from BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. The big game is coming up. New customers sign up and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Then check back for promotions like odds boosts, no sweat bets, and NBA and NHL second chance promos. All from the sportsbook born in Vegas. Welcome, chat. We are coming to you live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Are we in the French Quarter?
No, we're in the warehouse district.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
We can't say much more. Because we'd hate for people to just show up at our fucking Airbnb all day. We have the most amazing Airbnb in the world.
Hands down.
Our sponsors have been incredible. Like, everybody's stepping up. We got the Smirnoff people outside. We got Yeti.
Kingsford.
BetMGM, as you can see, Kingsford.
The food.
So the guys that are in – the guys garage beer.
Oh. Who else wants a beer?
Yeah.
We're just we're just perpetually for sale. If you're a brand and you like what we do, give us beer, give us shelter, give us bags.
I'm not for sale.
Give us couches. Give us coolers.
Oh, couches, coolers, yeah.
Cups.
Give us sacks.
All right, so everybody that's in here, in the chat, just a disclaimer. This is going to be a great show. It's going to be a rough around the edges show. It's going to be a hold on to your butt show. It's going to be about 5-6 dudes at any given moment that have probably slept 5-6 hours combined as far as our time in New Orleans. So forgive us if we're stumbling. Forgive us if we sound like we're tired, because we are. Starting with Stanford Steve, who got 7 hours sleep last night.
Hey,
Steve.
You just got to go to bed, boys. It's not that hard.
And Dr. Fax is here. Macon's here. And, bro, give it up for Macon. Making the trip, boys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
First time on a commercial flight in a decade?
10 years.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said 6 last night.
No,
chartered.
that was Virginia.
Chartered
Commercial.
airplanes.
Wait.
Wow.
Wait, when was the last actual flight?
I really 19 to the Orange Bowl, but that was a charter. Bro, I was scared the night before. I was scared that I was like tucking my kids in, like I might never see them
This is
before.
it. I think that every time I leave the house.
Imparting wisdom
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're like,
What'd you tell them, just so I know, so I can catch a jewel?
recall, everything dies. So if it's me this time,
Fucking worst.
it's not a big deal.
So
But I put 2 and 2 together the night before because he's like, my flight just got canceled. He was going to fly Charlottesville to D.C. And I'm like, wait, you're on the Dulles flight that I'm on Thursday morning. Sure enough.
we've had a couple
He's at the
coincidental flights. And by the way, Bo's in the corner there. But
I'm in the cuck chair.
when you put it that way, that is where one would be located.
Yeah.
What's your favorite George Strait song?
Amarillo by morning. You're up from San Antonio.
There
Yeah,
we
I just
go.
got this shirt, guys.
That's a
Pretty
dope
sick.
shirt. And we saw Chris Stapleton last night, me and Bo. More on that in the country music part of the show. But
I'm walking down the aisle of the plane. Steve's in first class, obviously. And he goes, "Hey, you want a banana?" And I just
Gave him a banana.
I just said yeah and took it. And the guy behind me goes, presumably to a significant other, he's like, "Did you see that?" It was great. It was great.
all the dudes running into each other on the same flights this week is amazing.
It is pretty.
You and Kyle running into each other on the same flight.
Wow.
Me and Kyle, we weren't on the best of terms before.
They were doing.
a couple
They've been
days ago.
fighting their whole life,
And
whether it's
so-
practice or.
We were having like a little petty social media beef that kind of turned more not petty, but we're also not in the same state. We don't see each other. And sitting at this connector.
They weren't on speaking terms for a few weeks.
Sitting waiting at this connector in Atlanta. Who do I see getting off his connecting flight to stand in line to get on the same plane? Big Kyle. But the funniest thing about the whole situation is seeing your brother walk off the plane just raw dog. Like, no carry on, no check on, nothing. Just nothing in his hand. Like, I respect it, but I'm like, yo, you're not traveling with anything, and you're just like you're depending on that the airline is gonna get all your bags and everything, like no problem. Because if you don't, you just have nothing.
You have nothing. No, I know. Well, and good luck finding clothes. The guy's huge.
Yeah.
Last year, Super Bowl, he had just had a baby.
Yeah.
And he had to fly home, like, immediately. And that flight ended up being mine. So I'm in, like, 4F on the right window. He's in, like, 1B, like the first seat. When you walk on the plane, it's hit, like, just a human space eater. So I was like, hey, I asked the stewardess, I'm like, that guy just had a baby. Can you get him they have the Tito nips?
Yeah.
My man just opened it, and it looked like he just took an eye drop. That's how fast it went. And then he was just threw it. He's like, thanks, Steve. But, like, it literally looked like the eye dropped. Like, that's how small it was in his hand. Just a monstrous, man.
Hey, the best Kyle story this week, besides him texting me and being like, Nate is on my plane, and we are having a stare down from across the plane. hey, was you know,
Nate
we got
probably
this,
had his shades on, though, and he was sleeping.
I know. I'm picturing. I know exactly both of their facial expressions too. Where Kyle's like, and Nate's like, you know, Nate's like, oh, come on. But the best part of the whole week was we got this beautiful Airbnb. It's amazing. Like we're putting up so many individuals in this place. I'm rooming with an individual. It's like college again, bro. But we've been having dudes come in left and right, like just popping in for interviews and that sort of thing. And, you know, Bo's homies with Indomitian Sue and Vita Vea. And, you know, I know Sue from back in the day a little bit. I told him, I was like, man, I wish we drafted you. Yeah. It would have been so fun.
Dude, he's the man.
But they came through, and, you know, Kyle and Sue, like Kyle kind of got drafted to mitigate the Sue problem. Yeah. Like, you know, there's no stopping it, but you can get in the way.
Yep.
So let's pick the biggest, baddest guard we can. Somebody who will fist fight him. And I remember Kyle used to talk about that game every year. It was like, hey, Sue's coming up next month, you know, like whatever. And so they haven't really hung out off the field. I hit up Kyle. I'm like, hey, somebody at the Airbnb that wants to see you. Wow. And I invited Kyle over, and it was such a cool moment to see them dap up. You know, you're talking about when you have a mortal enemy like that in football over the span of 5-7 years, it's like when you see them outside football, it can go one of two ways. Yeah. And I'm just really happy that they hugged because nobody was going to be able to break that up.
It was like an anime meetup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dap. But he walks in. I can't remember what exactly he said, but
That's
something
a
to the effect of like,
too.
He goes, oh, Jesus Christ, or something.
Like you again.
Yeah, you again.
Yeah, it is like a Highlander beef,
And then
bro.
when he walked inside, know what he said? He's like, I'm not supposed to like him. He's like, look, I hated
Kyle?
him. Yeah, he's like, I hated that guy like my whole career because like I'm supposed to be trained to feel that way. But he's like, he's cool. He's a cool dude.
Kyle's like talking out his feelings in real time. Like, what is this feeling of empathy and friendship?
Dude, Sue's a great guy, man. I feel like the public perception of him is way off. Like, he's a fucking badass.
For sure.
Probably the best college defensive lineman of all time. But, like, pretty soft-spoken guy.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't really say a lot. And when he does, like, you know, he kind of speaks quietly. Like, everyone listens. Smart motherfucker. But, like, he jokes around and, like, makes a lot of jokes once you kind of get to know him a little bit. That was the biggest surprise to me.
I could have talked to him all day.
Dude,
I just,
great guy.
you know, and somebody with a reputation like his where, you know, a lot of people think negatively because of the dirty thing or like he stomped on a guy or lost his cool. Hey, listen, there's a lot of motherfuckers in the league that have done a lot worse than Sue and in real life that we revere. And to me, it's like we should put that aside now when we talk about his legacy of what kind of a guy he was because, like, honestly, every guy I talked to that played with him liked him.
Great dude.
You know, like we FaceTime William Hayes. He played with William Hayes. And Vita Vea is just a unicorn, bro. Yeah. There's nobody like him.
Just his build.
Yeah.
He's like a doorway.
It's unreal.
Look at his calves. They're fucking it's like balloons.
That's your corner.
Incredible.
What?
Calves.
Oh, I know. Somebody. Yeah, exactly. That's my calves, bro.
Chris has nice calves too.
But I got to tell him I named my pumpkin after him on the pumpkin float. He was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, he's like, "I saw that."
But he was like, "Oh yeah." So we've had a lot of great stories to tell. I wrote.
Who was the coolest
player guy that
Vince
you met?
Wilfork.
Vince Wilfork.
Vince
was the man.
Wilfork, hands down.
Nose
So the
guy?
first
Nose
the
guy.
The first day we get here, we got the first interview right off the plane is Vince, and I've never met Vince, and I just have a lot of respect for him. I got some mutual friends like McCourty and all that. But you never know till you meet a guy what he's going to be like. And not only was I first struck by the fact he's lost over 100 pounds. It's
crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Good for him.
But on top of that, like just the nicest, ball knowingest, like just awesome interview you could have had. No ego, humble dude. And he's down here pitching Kingsford because he's doing Kingsford for forever. And so we got the guys from Man vs. Food here. There is an alligator hanging outside on a fucking.
Speaking of stare downs, I've been staring that gator down for freaking 2 days.
I thought I was going to eat that gator when I got home last
I'm not gonna
night.
lie, we're kind of getting edged with the gator.
What do you mean?
Like
Teasing him.
edging.
they're
Like we've
just
been
teasing
teased.
us
Like
with the
we've
gator.
seen it. I thought that we were gonna have gator probably like
Matt told me
36
9:30
hours
last
ago.
night.
Yeah,
Thing's
when's the
still
gator ready,
marinating.
dude?
Hey, Rosillo said earnestly, he's like, yeah, I've had gator. Hold on. Rather just eat chicken breast. Like
That's
totally
hate.
like
That's hate. That's hate.
I'm not
Priscilla
even
has
doing-
made two. He's made two. You missed the one, which was hilarious. Was he came here the first?
Just
I don't
chug
sleep well.
Julio?
Not chug. Take a couple. I'm thinking to myself, I got Barry Sanders in 5 hours. I go 9-year-old me would be. I'm thinking to myself, I got Barry Sanders in 5 hours. I go 9-year-old me would be so disappointed. Like that. Like your favorite player. You know, and that's this week is so cool for that reason. Like we can work, we can play. It was an awesome interview with Barry. I love the guy, man.
Oh,
Barry signed my
He
car.
signed Nate's card.
That's sick.
that's awesome.
Oh my god,
An
that's
Absolute
amazing.
guard.
Barry laid down on the Lovesac, like the beanbag, and it was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was like Barry just chilling on a beanbag.
Yeah.
And Nate, of course, immediately walks over to him and is like, "Hey, can you sign this?"
And shout out to Barry because he was willing to do it.
Nicest dude.
And even if he had said no, like I would have been cool with it. But the fact that
Can you imagine if
did
he
do
just
it.
said no? How you would have stood there like a fucking idiot, like with
no,
your hand
I would have
out?
been like, no, that's cool. Like what else am I supposed to do?
Their rep said that like Barry more than any athlete gets other athletes asking for his autograph. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, I bet he's
No doubt.
Oh, he's the greatest running.
You ever
back
see him
of
on the
all
sidelines like
time.
at a Lions game pregame? It's the opposing team, every player goes over, everybody.
He's just so universally respected.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he said some really interesting stuff in the interview, and that'll be out at some point soon. So I don't know what else. I have some things written down. One of my favorite moments of the week so far was Tanner, our producer extraordinaire, ordering Air Monarchs from DoorDash.
Yep.
He got his shoes on
Less
DoorDash.
miles.
Yeah, so I came down here with only a pair of Birkenstocks.
That was a bad decision.
I was like, they're comfy, but it's also a bit. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be funny.
Yeah, it'll be funny.
And then-
it'd be funny for you to get an infection on your foot
Yeah, exactly.
walking down Bourbon Street.
48 hours into
Get amputated.
it. We're on Bourbon Street the first night, and my feet are killing me.
Yeah.
You know? I'm on DoorDash, like looking at dicks.com on DoorDash.
Oh yeah, hey now.
Look at dicks.com. Yikes. Chill out over there.
Throw the sporting goods in
You
there.
know what though?
Relax over there.
But yeah, no.
That's really their URL.
I think so. Yeah.
It-
Like they just were like, yep.
and
Yeah.
Chris, you missed it.
Couldn't be Dick Sports.
No, yeah.
You missed it last night at the Cash App party.
Oh, yeah.
Tanner
Oh.
and Nolan were in a different element. Big X the
Big
plug
X. I
was
dapped up Big
performing,
X.
You
and
dapped up Big
these
X the plug.
guys,
That was my boy.
these
That's
guys
awesome.
were hilarious. The way they were. He walked up to the stage and dapped Big X the plug up while he was performing.
It looked awesome in there.
It was. There you go.
we shook hands. I said, good player.
Did you really?
Yeah. Like I was somebody. Like, nice season.
He's bigger in
Player.
person.
Yeah.
Tall.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, but like
Like
he's
wiry.
But he's like legit like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
And I didn't. I guess I didn't.
He saw Josh last night. Alan,
Yeah, it was
and-
really cool. We got to go to the CAA party after Josh won the MVP, and like he walked in, the place just goes crazy, and I'm just standing. I'm like, he is that big. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like Sam Darnold and he walk in together, and Sam's not a small dude,
No.
and Josh just dwarfs him.
Yeah.
Like nothing against Sam Darnold at all, but he's just a massive dude. It
Nothing
was
against
really
him.
cool.
Nothing against you. You're not as big as Josh Allen. Nothing against you. Yeah. But and also MVP Josh Allen.
People, I feel like people were really, really surprised.
But it's the right, and we said this all year. I've been consistent on this. He was the most valuable player to his team this year. And is it close between him and Lamar? Fuck yeah, dude. It pains me to say that one of them couldn't win it. But you can't, before the season, say, hey, Bills are retooling. Bills don't have a number one.
Who's he going to throw to? Yeah.
Who's he throwing to?
All
And
the
then by the end of the
questions.
season being like, yeah, but they got Shakir and they got Cooper and they got a couple tight ends and, the backs of the backfield. All right, name the backs not named Dalvin Cook. And people are like, I don't know. They're catching wheel routes for 30 yards, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not to mention,
Derrick Henry is a big part of the Ravens, too.
which is huge.
Like, I don't want to deflate anything that Lamar did.
He doesn't need Derek to be excellent, but it helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they got it right, but it was surprising because it's the same voters that vote on the All-Pro team.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what the
Yeah, I don't know. People were.
Well, it might be they might have took the word value very literally in that sense. So, congrats to Josh. Sounded like a fun night. We were over at the Stapleton show, bro. Bo, take it away. How was it?
Dude, it was awesome. First time seeing Stapleton. It was at the Fillmore. Pretty small venue, and we had a nice setup. The funniest thing to me is Chris and I have been planning on going all week, like stoked about it. We're kind of back there chopping it up. Really good crew. We went with Kels and Kylie, and all of a sudden, who do I see walk in the door? Diane Long.
I know.
Baby.
And my dad, I'm standing with my dad, and I'm like,
Yes.
I'm fucking kind of lit up.
The funniest thing was, dude, this
Kinda?
time. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but
It wasn't that bad, but it was like, when you see your parents out in the wild and you're not really expecting it to. I saw this look on Chris's eyes where he's just like, fuck. But this same time last year, I was a little chopped up at the Sphere at a U2 concert in Vegas for the Super Bowl in this box. Didn't know anybody. And who do I see walk in?
Yeah.
Your mom.
Yeah, I
And it
know.
was like, here we are a year later.
yeah,
A
they
surprise
sent a
concert.
picture. I left him and Kelsey to go to the Sphere, and he was going to get after it. And next thing I see, he's like in the Sphere with my parents. But
Yeah.
everybody loves you, bro. Like you're easy to talk to. You can hold court. You know what I mean?
Well, Stapleton was holding court last night.
Stapleton was doing. I mean, I've never seen a bad Stapleton show, bro.
Dude,
like,
it
and
was
of
so
all
good.
the great musical talents, you're like, somebody's like, how's his stage presence? Somebody asked me one time, I'm like, he is the fucking stage presence.
Yeah, he's got the
I don't.
aura,
He doesn't have to
bro.
move.
Yeah.
It's like just listen.
Yeah.
And they finished with Outlaw State of Mind, which the last third of that song is just like guitar.
Yeah.
And I just remember sitting there every time I see him. I'm like, some musicians you see where you're like, I'm gonna be talking about this guy. I'm gonna tell my grandkids I saw Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
And he had an aura.
Dude, they took great care of us. He had an aura. He was fucking up there. He made it look so effortless. It's
This
like,
is your first time?
first time.
First time
And it was such a cool venue, man. Like,
Yeah,
the
that thing's
Fillmore
awesome.
was so cool. Chris, so afterwards we went over to the casino, which was attached basically to the Fillmore.
Yeah.
We see Gilly the King.
The kid.
Oh, boy.
Gilly the Kid.
Is it the kid or
I
the
don't
king?
know.
The King.
I don't
King?
understand it.
He's not a kid anymore.
So his real rap name used to be Gilly the Kid, and it's at the point now he's past being a kid, so it's changed.
So I'm not
to
totally
Gilly the
wrong.
Kid.
You can go from kid to king. I thought you usually go from prince to king. I don't get it. The whole
he skipped the step.
he skipped the prince stage,
What's
bro.
the natural progression for Big X the plug?
It's Big X.
I think we're maxed out.
He's just stuck on.
Yeah,
the plug.
yeah. So
No Lils.
I want to read a text if I can
Big X
From-
extension.
from Luke Wilson, not that Luke Wilson.
Tight end Luke Wilson?
Yeah, my boy.
Love him.
Love Luke Wilson.
Two L's,
Awesome guy.
Two L's in Wilson.
Is he here?
Really?
I think so.
Yeah. Is he here?
Really?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, he is here because this is the text I got at 6:25 a.m. Wednesday. Bro, I'm like 95% sure I saw your boy Bo at the blackjack table getting his teeth kicked in. He goes, said what's up to him. The homie looked at me like he has never seen me in his life or the 200 lives before this. He was ready to slap the fuck out of me. Send him my apologies.
And I said back, bro. I did get my teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
First night at the casino, I had 13 Kim Crawford white wines. It was fucking Yeah, I'm a first night hero, dude. So like we went to the casino. I had a lot of white wine for no reason. Honestly, no reason. Got bodied at the blackjack table, and I briefly remember him coming up to me as I'm on the precipice of a Kim Crawford blackout and dapping me up, and I'm like mid-shoe, like losing all my money. I was just like, yo, what's up? All right, so
I can imagine your face, dude.
brutal. Yeah.
Just, I mean,
angry.
Bad
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I got here, you were already
First
hurt.
night.
Yeah.
First night.
Night one's always a tough one.
Yeah.
go to
So tell your boy I didn't mean to be rude. I was just
No,
getting
I
my
already told
teeth
him.
kicked in.
I already told him. Also,
On the
shout out to the
blackjack
Workaholics guys. They were over at the crib. They're the best.
Those guys are sweet.
And other than that, you guys went and got your palms read, didn't you?
We did. Palms read, and they had someone at the party doing like on the spot poetry for the people. I think it was
Poetry
called.
for the people.
And you kind of tell the lady what you want your poem to be about, and she asks you questions, and they make a poem like on the spot. My poem is kind of cool.
No thanks. Just read my palm.
Did it for my daughter, and then the palm reading. It was cool. I've never done it before. And sorry, Mom. I know she's not going to be happy to hear this. My mom's really religious. So I wanted to try it because New Orleans is big on palm reading. It's kind of like.
Your mom's going to kill you, bro. Your mom didn't let you celebrate Halloween because it's a pagan holiday.
Bro, Fax wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter as a kid either,
Bro,
probably.
For real, though.
That's
You
crazy.
didn't wear a costume.
I didn't. I was only able to dress up as sports figures.
What about like a politician?
I was like Bernie Williams like 3 years in a row. When I was a kid. Fire Bernie
Bring a
Williams.
guitar too.
Bernie Williams baseball jersey, Yankee
That's
jersey.
so funny. So the palm reading thing, that's pretty fucked up when you think about it.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
yeah, I don't want to know either.
It wasn't even a palm reading, it was a tarot card.
Yeah, tarot card. Tarot cards. You pick the cards, and then she tells what that means.
Says the guy who said his life was forever changed by said tarot card.
Yeah, make
reading.
up your mind, bro.
Yo,
I mean,
he
5
turned around and
stars?
he's like, you gotta go sit down. My mind is blown. I'm doing so many things differently.
Yeah, what have you been doing differently in the last 24?
My thing is, what if you sit down and they're like, you got a week?
Yeah.
Bro, that for me is what I'm like.
No thanks.
Man,
They'll never do that. They'll just lie.
day 8, I swing the
Like they
door
don't
open
like
in that motherfucker. I'm still here.
Surprise.
One of these guys was like, she said, I really care about my family. And it was Cowboy. And I got like decisions coming up down the road, and they'll either be like positive or negative. And it just was like mind blowing.
It's like a horoscope, bro.
Yeah, that sounds
All right,
really
let's walk around the
specific.
Airbnb and see if anybody else likes that palm reading
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Does Big Howie have the address here?
My dad?
Yeah.
My dad?
My daddy.
No, but I don't think he's coming into dudes.
Yeah.
And like to think dudes are still running into each other.
Yeah.
30 years later, the whole thing, it's amazing.
No doubt.
Same thing with Barry. He's like, where's your dad staying? Hopefully I can see him, So, anyways, we've had a great week. I did get I was on a plane over here with George Rogers, Heisman
Legend.
Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Absolute legend. Seemed like a great guy.
Gamecocks.
And Charles Woodson.
Heisman Trophy winner.
James Jones was behind me.
Not
so-
a Heisman Trophy winner.
No, but still.
So you and James Jones were the
Me and
non-Heisman.
James Jones were the guys that were not getting free drinks.
Did you get a banana though on your
No,
flight?
nobody gave me a banana. Nobody gave me.
He said it was good too.
Yeah. B minus.
B minus banana.
Yeah, which is fine.
It's airport banana. United Club. What do you expect?
So we should talk about the game here, and talk about some of the lines and the props and that sort of thing. We're going to bring somebody in from BetMGM to talk about the lines after we chop it up and talk about the actual game plan. And we've got a packed show for you as far as guests are concerned. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk to Malcolm Jenkins today, former Eagle, legend. My dude, and then Rodney McLeod as well, absolute legend, just retired in Cleveland. Going to talk about our Super Bowl in 2017. He played both these teams this year. He's one of the smartest players that you'll ever meet, so he'll be able to give you some intel on what he thinks is going to happen. And then Matt Patricia as well.
Saw Matt last night. He was at the party.
We're gonna make it hell for Matt in here. He had me in meetings so much in New England. I'm gonna fuck with him when he comes in here.
You
I
gotta
love Matt.
Have the pencil in the hat.
The pencil in the hat. Is there any other guests? Am I forgetting anybody?
You say Rodney?
Rodney. Yeah, Malcolm and Matt. So they'll be coming through in a little bit. But, guys, gun to y'all's head, who's winning the game? Like, I can't, everybody's asking me what I think.
Go Birds.
What do y'all think?
Yeah, I knew what he was going to say.
I mean, I just think the Eagles are so talented, man. Their roster's so deep.
No doubt.
And Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, unbelievably coached organization. They have confidence. They've been there before. I think that's super important. But, I don't know, Chris. I felt this way in 2017, but, you feel like the stars align a little bit. You get that mojo. You get that little tarot card, secret sauce, and you just feel like you got it. You know what I mean? I think the Eagles team is experiencing that. But, more importantly, they're playing good football. They're protecting the football. They're running the fuck out of the ball. The defense is balling out, and it's a super talented roster. So,
not to mention, we went to Eagles Media Day.
Yeah, we did.
Did our annual check-in.
Yeah, with the
And
Bulls.
did you guys catch norovirus while you were there?
No,
we were actually
story?
I don't
patient
know.
zeros for that. Maybe.
I don't know. It probably shouldn't hit me until tomorrow when I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. So
the hardest thing we do when we do these kinds of shows, the hardest thing you have to do is forget what the team looked like in their last game.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep going back to because I don't want to miss the idea. This is not the Commanders' defense they're going against.
not at all.
Correct.
And Kansas City breaks your balls more than anything. I mean, that fourth down and just seeing in the most critical time of the game of their season, they are able to disguise that
God bless
Hey,
you.
now, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Disguise that blitz.
Yeah.
And where Josh does the recount, does
Yeah.
double cadence,
Yep.
and they execute it, and they win the game because of that. And you have to be so good. The 2 Super Bowls ago, the Eagles were great.
Yep.
And everybody talks about how good Jalen Hurts was, but he fumbled.
Yeah.
And it turned the whole game around.
And you don't know that the false start before that play is what puts you behind the sticks and maybe puts you in a passing situation.
Yeah.
It's like the thing about the Chiefs is you're going to make mistakes and they're not.
Yep.
And sometimes greatness in being spectacular, it's just doing your job, not to borrow from my other dad, Bill, my work dad, Bill. But
So, gun to your head, who you picking?
I am going to pick the Eagles. I think they're the better roster. I could overthink it, and I could sit here and this is. I mean, people are like, "What else did I come here for?" But I think one of the dumbest questions is who you picking, and we ask each other all the time because it's this is a game that's 50-50.
Yeah.
The plays are going to be made on the field. If you want to ask me what type of game it's going to be, I think it's going to be, you could say, hey, I think it's going to be physical. I think they're going to be, I would tend to lean under in the first half.
I love the under.
I think it's going to be one of those games where they're feeling each other out.
You could say it.
And Drake May was here yesterday and referenced his comment at the podium when he said feeling each other out. By the way, Drake May, I love the kid.
Dude.
I'm
vibes?
Yeah, I'm all in on the dude. I mean, just amazing vibes. Macon was like, oh man, I gotta like him now. UNC guy. So, but it is about just you don't know when your big moment comes in the game, and that's in these games. The big moment might be in the second quarter. You just don't know it before it happens. And yes, they'll be great on third down at the end of the game when Spags dials up a pressure that he's saved. But they're also going to be great on a mundane 3rd and 4 that extends the drive, and they're running a crosser, and you fuck up a sort, or your leverage is bad out of a bunch, your protection's off one play, and they'll kill you.
Do you guys get the gist that the Eagles are 100% up front?
I don't want to get too far into it, but just because we know those guys.
That's what I'm just saying.
I
Whatever.
think that they're battling through some shit, but I know those. I think you're specifically talking about Landon and Jergy,
yeah.
and Jalen Carter's dealing with that norovirus or whatever this week too. But those are two of the toughest motherfuckers. They will be playing. I don't think they're 100%. I don't think anybody at the end of the season is 100%. But I'm expecting great games out of both of them.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a physical grinder game for those dudes because they're not fully healthy.
That's a big deal to me.
I agree. Chris
it's really. I mean, you saw what Commanders did with the injury.
As soon
Boom,
as Dickerson
they start
goes,
firing A gap stuff, and it's
Yeah.
holy shit.
And I think Spags is actually going to blitz the fuck out of the Eagles on early downs to stop the run.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And then, but that's what I'm most curious to see. You said game they're going to feel each other out a little bit. Andy Reid's first 15 is phenomenal. Yes. So I'm excited to see that because that's going to be a great one. And then I really want to know how Spags and the Chiefs defense is going to come out early on early downs. Like, are they going to do 5-man pressures? Are they going to really blitz the shit out of it with 0 to try to stop the run? The problem is with blitzing the run game like that is like you get one dude out of their gap.
He has 7 touchdowns of 60 yards or more this year, and it's all because people have to lean into stopping the run. And when you come with a run pressure, like you said, if somebody doesn't cross face or somebody doesn't set the edge, it can be over. And
I think it comes down to the Eagles' defense. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you go back, it got to that point in that Super Bowl the last time they played. Everybody talked about how the secondary's not great, and what happened? They couldn't hold up for 60 minutes. And when you watch the Chiefs, if you're going to –
You could say that some of that was a little ticky-tacky
understood
calls,
but it got that. The build-up there was because of that. But when you look at what Kansas City does, if you play straight zone, they will carve you. I mean, they got guys
Travis
all over the place.
and Pat,
they'll laugh at it.
Butter.
So what are the Eagles like? They're going to play a little bit more man, I would think, than they normally do. And then, like, can they play some matchup stuff where you have eyes on Pat? Because if you don't have eyes on him, he's going to do what he did in the last 2 games. We haven't seen it all year.
The left end, Nolan Smith, who I think has been a huge emergence for them, is going to be one of the most important players on the field. The left edge defender when you play Mahomes is one of the most important players.
Because of the throwing arm?
Well, throwing arm and then every short yardage situation, sprint right option, the ways they break people's back. Over the years, there's 100 plays where he gets out to the right. And you just have to be ready for all that stuff. And I think we talk about, like, the guys up front for sure. I think you said defense. I think it comes down to the secondary and doing the little things you talk about, like sorting things, having good eyes.
Great tackling teams, two good tackling
No, I know.
defenses.
One of the 2 of the best.
And then also this. People focus on third downs. And, yes, both these teams are dangerous on third down because of the playmakers and the quarterbacks and all that stuff. But the most dangerous thing about Kansas City is the way that they can stay in third and manageable. And so, to me, third down is first down. You really have to get them behind the sticks. And if you can get in 3rd and 9, great. But if you're going to let them be in 3rd and 4 all game, it's going to be death by 1,000 paper cuts. And they've been spectacular doing that. Worthy's emergence is huge. He can beat you in one play. And Kelsey, finding the matchup. If they play zone match, it's harder to pick your matchup defensively on Kelsey in those situations. So he's going to be able to move him around like a chess
motions
piece.
And shifts too. Where do you think, like when Chris Jones moves around, basically picks the guy he wants to rush against? Where do you think he goes?
I think he probably.
I think he goes over the right guard.
Yeah, but I was thinking I don't think he'd want to like rush Lane or Dickerson, but you never know. They'll put him out there because he's so big. Yeah. And I was saying this to somebody with the Eagles. I was like, Jalen Carter should play end at some point. I'm talking about like put him out there.
That's exactly
74.
What 74?
74. What's 74's name?
Yeah.
Oh,
from
74. Jawan Taylor. Put him over Jawan Taylor.
Bro, I would put him on Jawan Taylor the first 4 plays of the game and say, hey, you bull rush him and you get 4 holding calls because that's what he's gonna do. Yeah. And I would make Jawan have to think about that the entire game.
Think about Jawan Taylor, the way he sets so horizontally and deep.
Exactly.
And like having a power rusher
put him in Pat's
go
lap.
through his inside shoulder.
Put him in Pat's lap.
I think it would be a huge wrinkle that the Eagles have not shown yet to move him out and place him in. And the other guy that has to win, and I think he will, is Milton Williams. And Caliendo over there, they might help him. They might say, hey, we're okay on Trey on Jalen. Like they think that highly of Trey. Mm-hmm. But when the other guy gets the one-on-ones, you got to win.
And that's what worries me about this week, hearing that he's sick and he's missing practice is because for little wrinkles like that that you haven't ran in the season, this is the week and these are the practices where you're going to get your reps in and make sure guys around you kind of know, hey, look, Jalen's not in the 3-tech right here, so, like, these things are going to be different. And so I wonder how much we are going to be able to see different stuff up front for the Eagles, the fact that all the guys aren't practicing this week.
But everything's in before you got here.
Yeah,
everything's in. Yeah, everything's in.
But it was like execution-wise.
But to
understood.
go,
I got you.
To go through the stuff, which is like such a big deal because if you don't have a good week of practice at home, then it's hard to cram it all in at like the University of Minnesota or the University of Houston, walking through like everybody. Tulane. By the way, Macon came down here fresh off the plane, went to the Mecca, and rolled his joke out.
Nothing quite like being humbled by about 6 dozen undergraduates. Just cringe responses to the Tulane expansion.
Okay.
I won't spoil it much more, but beautiful campus. My favorite place on earth. Yeah.
I said, did anybody think it was funny? And he was like, 15%.
That might be generous.
Yeah.
It's higher than your typical average.
They're young.
But look,
youngsters don't get it, Macon.
That's the point of the joke.
Yeah.
You know? If somebody laughed like that, it's like, all right. Next.
But yeah, no, I mean,
I got one more thing I want to talk about this game that I'm worried about, and you kind of brought this up a little bit, Steve, earlier, is like just the health of the Eagles' interior offensive line with these blitzes, and you saw with the Commanders, like Frankie Louvu time went up and was in the backfield, and like, you know, so I think what I'm worried about for the Eagles offensively is Spags blitzing, middle pressure, like 0 blitzes, up in Jalen's face, Jalen rolling out of the pocket, escaping the pocket early, and just making maybe a bad decision with the ball, trying to force a throw downfield, and turning it over. Now, he's been great with the football.
No doubt.
He was really good against – the Commies actually blitzed a lot.
Yeah.
And he did he had a great game. But I just, you know, Spags and the creativity of that defense and just the aggression, you know what I mean? That's I think, my concern for the Eagles offensively.
Because the Commanders just can't say, all right, we're going to play man out here, and then we're going to try and mix it up in the middle. And, you know, like the Eagles love that shit.
Yeah. Well,
but
I mean,
now,
Jalen's great at throwing the ball outside the numbers.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, he's got a lot of confidence there. And I think I feel him – I just envision a scenario where he's bailing from the pocket early due to a super aggressive Spags blitz. He's out on the edge and maybe throws a pick. I don't know.
I feel like Saquon's going to have a huge reception in this game for a lot of yards. I think there's going to be one play out of the backfield where he just toasts these guys because I like the matchups in the passing game for him.
Yeah. Nice wheel route.
Yeah. Or red zone scissors, which I like on Madden. Yeah. You can run it anywhere. You don't just have to run it in the red zone.
Scissor me timbers.
I hope you got your first 15 ready for sketch. You got to represent for the green light.
Oh, yeah, I got that tonight.
Yeah.
Somebody said you just run the tush push on him over and over again.
That would be fucking funny.
Yo.
I'm supposed to play him for like 5 minutes. Like, what if I ran the play clock down every time?
Yeah.
Just extend the game.
You're just in 4 minute
Good strategy,
offense.
brother.
Yeah.
Good strategy, brother.
Yeah. You got like a 17-play drive.
You're
that goes
Frankie
all
Louvu.
5 minutes and you kick a field goal at the end. Hey, Chris.
Yeah?
If BG gets a sack, we're going fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's got like a Willis Reed kind of thing. Like the fact
Is he
that
going to play 10 snaps?
I hope he plays 50.
I would go out there and
he's not going to, but like,
No, I know.
like if you just if your tricep is like falls off your body, like it was for the right reason.
yeah, just pick it up
How
off the
about
field.
picture this? Nico Remigio opening kickoff to the house. Devin Hester-esque.
Like the Indy Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Devin Hester-esque. How much air will come out of your chest if that happens as a
Dude,
Eagles
he's
fan?
been doing really well.
Well, he
in the
did
return
that to
game.
start. I mean, he didn't score,
against
but
the Texans.
The starting the Texans game like that, he had a huge return last week, which Buffalo
Answer right
botched.
after a touchdown.
He should have heard Bill going through it on tape. He's like, I just can't fucking like. Bill just like, I'm like, it's a punt, and he's just like everything. He
Bill
notices
loves
every
special
He
teams,
just
dude.
hates when it's not a left-footed punter. That already gets him.
Yeah, exactly. But
Speaking of Bill, though, like, and you played for him and you played in this. I just don't, as a coach, how the hell you could feel good about your game plan, knowing that you're coming down for a week and all this bullshit, and you're going to be in walkthrough mode.
Yeah.
Like, that would eat at me every single night, man.
Yeah.
Like, are we good to go? I don't know. I can't do it because we got walkthrough.
It's
We got
funny.
another freaking media night. Like,
Will Fork did mention in the interview we did with him the other day how I can't remember which Super Bowl team it was, but he said that like I think it was one of their winning teams had gotten to where they've been because they practiced hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And they practiced hard as hell in full pads during the Super Bowl week, and he was just like, yeah, we didn't think anything of it because A, that's kind of how the game was at that point, but B, it's like that's what had gotten us to the big game.
To your point, like Alshon said it the best. That interview with Alshon, he was like, I could do away with all this. He was
Bro.
like, we could have stayed in Philly for this, and then came a day before the game
Yeah.
like we
That
normally
is
do.
the funniest Super Bowl interview.
It really
of all
is,
time.
and it's all true. And then just how quick he was like, the game's indoors.
Here's-
Who cares about the weather?
The games. The best one was at the end. He's like, "Are you excited to see Justin Timberlake?" He's like, "I don't mean no disrespect, but he bleeds like I bleed. Like we're
He's a great musician.
great
but
musician. Don't get me wrong,
here to
but
play football.
I was like, bro, Alshon's in go mode.
He's
dude.
a legend.
Man,
I got something I want to bring up real quick. You're at the NFL Honors. I saw this photo of Bill last night. It was fucking incredible, dude. It was the best photo I've ever seen. He had his rings on. He had his girl. He looked
She
so.
had a ring on.
She had a ring on. He looked
a
so
Super Bowl ring.
fucking
He doesn't have
happy.
no
I was like,
space on his
Coach,
hand.
I was unfamiliar with your game, dude. It was such a good fucking photo.
a
My
great
guy's
flex.
just in his element, man.
He's in. He
Like-
you know, for him, like for so many years being here at Super Bowl week, you're either working or you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, because like, and you know, everybody takes losing hard, but
Yeah.
you know he. So to
that
see
was-
him down here this week and just being like, this is what the Super Bowl's like.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's
I mean,
different.
really cool.
Like I was scrolling through a photo gallery of like photos of people from the honors party. Like it was like, you know, Josh and his fiance and I got to the last one and it was Bill and I was like, oh my God, bro. Like this is the fucking best photo I've ever seen of this man. He looked so happy.
Cheesing.
It was great, dude.
Yeah.
we have to go
Not
sit behind the
expecting it.
bench when they play Virginia. We just have to troll him
and
make
just troll the
signs.
fucking him.
Just make
I told him.
signs
I
and,
said
like,
my kids are gonna be down there cussing him out in the front row. Like,
You
He already
Bill,
think-
you think Bill will LeBron us and get us kicked out? Like, hey, security,
Yeah, man, yeah,
those
yeah.
guys right
That'd be
there,
hilarious.
Like, it would be so funny.
Where do the teams stay when they come to Charlottesville?
we'll find out. I'm fucking pulling the
I
fire
know,
alarm.
I know where.
Is that a federal crime?
Just like they used to do to all the teams at that Providence.
Yeah.
Slide into the seat.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we have John from BetMGM coming out, and we're gonna go through some of the lines over the next few minutes. What's up, brother? How's it going?
Howdy.
So, welcome to the man cave back here. We would love you to just kind of run us through what your most bet like props are this week. You know where the lines are right now. And
I also would love to talk about some of.
I feel like you got the cheat code right there.
I'm an honorary trader at BetMGM, so
Okay.
yeah, I have all the data.
yeah.
Well, we got the script.
Yeah, when I asked Barry Sanders what he thinks about the game, he goes, "It is hard to bet against Taylor Swift."
Yeah, she's kind of a beast on the
Three-peat
field.
proposal, baby.
Yeah.
That's
Can we,
what's about
can we
to
talk
happen.
about some of the exotic bets available for the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
'Cause I
just
feel
start
like that's-
firing,
do it.
bro.
Yeah.
We're-
Okay. Something you guys probably would like. Gatorade bath, right?
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Yesterday, yellow, green, lime, plus 250. It just swung this morning to minus 165.
Really?
So, big swing. But all these types of novelty markets move on, whispers on social media. Someone says, I saw yellow in their Gatorade yesterday.
See, Chris thinks that's green. We don't.
But
need
it's
to-
all
We don't
in
have to
one
get
cat-
into it, but
all
it's-
in one
but
category
there's-
for that reason.
It's
That's right,
green.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow, green, and lime. We put it all together.
Yeah,
It's like his shoe. You know, there's some green, there's some yellow.
Oh, so maybe that means Vegas thinks the Eagles are going to win.
That's what I was going to get at because
lemon lime is what you drink when you're sick. It has more electrolytes,
that's
or you
interesting.
think. So guys are kind of sick on the Eagles. They probably pumping lemon lime Gatorade right now.
they're
and they're going to have that for the game.
Lemon
in the
lime
last two
Gatorade
Chiefs
and
Super Bowls,
Jalen.
it's been purple.
I
That's the
nailed
second
one of
favorite,
these a
right?
couple years ago, but like what? So let me ask you this: do y'all max out those Gatorade bath bets?
Do we take a maximum?
Do you take what do you cap them?
It really depends on the customer, right?
Because to me, I'm kind of curious because it is hard to protect the information on something like that.
Right. So if we see a bunch of bets coming in on any prop, especially on these novelties where the outcome could be known,
Yeah.
we just shut the market down.
Yeah. Well, I look for that. Just shut the market.
Still shut down the anthem, right? Because it's in rehearsal today or
That's
tomorrow.
right. So Anthem, over under 120 and a half seconds.
Who's doing the anthem?
John Batista. So
There's
The
a
wrestler?
There's a 91-second version out there.
No, I know who he is.
apologies.
Ryan Russillo hung out with him one night. You know, Ryan Russillo meets everybody. Yeah, through Tommy. Yeah. Okay, so generally I think country artists you think longer. You know,
I'm taking the over,
they
dude.
draw
This
the
is
notes out.
time
I know
to
he's
shine.
not a country
Got
artist.
the Mike solo.
Who?
I think I'm always taking the over on the anthem.
You're taking the over.
Dude, they're up there. This is like their moment.
I remember like one of my
I
first years out, I was like at the stadium to do some like Man of the Year like shit. thing
Walter Payton Man of the Year?
Yeah.
Yeah, casual.
And-
Drop that in there.
No, well, I mean, what was I gonna like? There's no other way to tell the story. Why else would I be at the stadium the day before the game?
yeah.
You'd be like, why were you at the stadium?
You're trying to look at the Gatorade
And then we'd still
color.
be talking about it just like now. So I'm at the stadium and I'm listening outside the stadium and I could hear them rehearsing and I'm like, bro, like this is one of the most difficult bets to keep under wraps because of all the
doubt.
personnel that are listening to rehearsal.
They have to hide what time rehearsal is too.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
They probably do fake plays like what we did with Doug, you know?
But I'll never forget my first, again, sorry, Bo, Man of the Year. We're all standing out there, and I'm sitting there with a stopwatch. I'm sitting there with the timer on my phone next to Taron Armstead, and he's looking at me like I got a bomb that's ready to go off or something. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing during the anthem? And after the anthem finished, I'm like, yes! And he goes, what the fuck is going on, dude? I'm like, just wait till you retire. I was like, it's a whole new world, dude.
So let me ask you this: with the Gatorade bath situation, is that only indicated for the head coach? Like, is it just a bath in general?
Yeah, so if you look at like house rules, it's going to be what they show on the broadcast. So if a fan took a picture and they're like, oh, over here the special teams coach gets dumped on, it's going to be the head coach.
Okay, another theoretical. Say they're going to Gatorade bath the head coach and they botch it, they drop the Gatorade, it doesn't actually bathe him. Is that null void, or is that if I pick no Gatorade bath, that's a win for me?
No, we do right by our customers. If they attempt it and it spills out, we're going to count it, even if they don't drench them.
But what if I'm the customer that has no Gatorade bath?
Hey, checkmate. You didn't know what you were coming back here for.
Let's just hope for a clean dump.
Okay, yeah.
Clean house. That's what we're all hoping for here. Hey,
Just go
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in love? Because we got a prop on Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift.
I was like, damn.
Hammer it. Three-peat and proposal, baby.
I do believe in love, but I do think people should make, these things happen like in private. Like I'm not a big public proposal guy.
Totally with you.
But also whatever they want to do. The thing I don't like though is everybody feeding into the NFL is rigged because XYZ happens. And I'm worried that if there is a proposal after the game, people are going to be like, yep, it's like a fucking movie.
The number one
That's how they
watched
do
clip.
the NFL. They script it.
It's a love story, baby. Just say yes.
Was it minus 800 for no?
Plus 800 for yes, minus 2,000 for no.
Is there a she says no?
No, but I'll ask the trading team.
You should probably put that in there. I saw somebody carrying, and I don't know if it's you guys, but I wouldn't because he would never, Dom physical altercation. I would never place that bet because it's not going to happen. He would never do something like that.
We're lovers, not fighters.
Lovers, not fighters. Yeah. He believes in love. Dom believes in love. Who else you got? What other good exotics you got?
Well, I mean, just in general, how about the Eagles are the most popular bet for the Super Bowl to win.
Fuck me right.
They were plus 110 earlier this week. They're down to even money now.
Yeah, I saw that.
So some movement there. And you're probably thinking like, okay, the book's going to be cheering for the Chiefs, but actually no. We want Philadelphia to win because there's such a great outcome on the futures market for us. Everyone was just pounding the Lions, the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs all year. So Eagles, even though it might be a short-term loss for us, we're going to win on the futures.
So you're just winning.
Win. House always wins. That's what they say, right?
It's true. Especially this house.
That's both.
Especially
house.
this
Super
house.
Bowl.
Yeah, the house is winning.
Shout out to Airbnb.
And the
Over
way
or
they,
under? What do you need?
the way
You
they
need under,
take,
right? Yeah.
Always the under. I mean,
love the under.
if it's under, if Saquon doesn't score, if Travis doesn't score, the book will be all right. You guys can wager
What's
on
the
Monday.
worst
We'll still
scenario
be
for the
standing.
book?
Everybody.
Nico
Saquon
Rimizzi
scores.
over.
Jalen scores.
They need unders
Mahomes
because of
runs.
props.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Because
proposal.
everybody bets over on props.
Yep.
So like a high score. What was the last time they played was brutal, and then your guys Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They got killed,
Bro.
because every player prop came in.
Nick Foles, anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
Go.
So,
Anytime 2 point
Did you guys know they had that plan?
who?
Fuck no.
What?
You didn't?
Dude,
What
I was
play?
on. I was
Philly
on.
special.
Bro, I didn't know what they were doing.
I was on
over there.
PAT, right? So
I never
started
knew
to-
what
This
they
is
were
what the
doing.
content
I started to
people
jog
need.
my ass out onto the field, and I was like, whoa. And I see Nick coming over and talk to Doug, and I'm like, am I supposed to go on the field? Like, what's going on? And then I jog back, and I'm like getting water, like I'm not even looking. And I turn around, and it's like, oh, fuck, sick. That's sick.
That's sick.
That's sick.
And all I remember
That's
was
awesome.
going to the stadium, and we were in like the real stadium for walkthrough, and we were running fake plays.
Yeah.
Because we were playing the Patriots, and they were worried people were up in the
And then Nick
rafters.
told us. I heard him tell a story about how they put all the sheets in the paper shredder.
Yeah. I mean, it was legit. Like, I remember when I was in St. Louis, have you ever been to the facility there, if you call it that?
Not the facility.
Well, it was right next to like a Candlewood Suites that like kind of like looked onto our practice field, and circa Spygate, those dudes put up 80-foot nets so nobody in the hotels could watch our games.
Smart.
Yeah, it's obvious, but that's how paranoid people are about the pads. I mean, we were talking to Vince about it. All right, so you said you like whoever wins the game, you win. Got it. We're all suckers. And you said total. You like under.
That's the best. Yeah, that's the best
Okay.
outcome for the book.
What do you think about teasers, my brother?
Tease away. Hey, look, the whole point of this is supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah,
So
I like-
if you want to make a parlay,
Gambling
if
is
you want to
supposed
do
to
a
be
teaser,
Any video of Bo at the casino the first
Get my
night?
teeth kicked in. I don't know what hurt me more, the Kim Crawford or this fucking table, bro. Anyway.
It's the worst in that's why I like sports betting though, because if you're gonna lose, Macon, keep it together. If you're gonna lose, he just lost a European basketball game, Serbian basketball. But if you're gonna lose in sports betting, you have 3 hours to like kind of grips with the loss. When you lose in blackjack, they just fucking take your. Like,
You're just sitting there like 3 plus 4 is 19. Oh,
You're done.
that's like the harshest like no safety net feeling.
It's gross how fast they could deal hands of blackjack now.
Oh, and they
It's
just go.
so gross.
And they make little snide remarks like, "Oh, bad luck."
Yeah.
I'm like, no shit. Your whole operation is run on bad luck. It's everywhere, dude.
So bad.
But all right, so how about an MVP, like, or one of those like long shot?
we've seen some action on the kickers.
Really?
So I don't know what would you need, 12-9 game and a game-winning kick maybe to cash
maybe
that
so.
bet. But bettors look at those 200, 300-1 shots and think, hey, $5, why not?
You know who doesn't want to see that? Roger Goodell does not want to see a kicker win MVP.
The most popular prop bet is Dallas Goedert, over 49.5 receiving
You
yards.
still have it at 49? I've seen it in the 50s.
It's come back down. It went up to 51. It was 50.5 yesterday. We had it this morning, 49.5. But
Well, he also so at the beginning of the playoffs, you could do those fantasy things. Whoever has the most receiving yards in the postseason, and right now it's De'Ami Brown, and Goddard's the only guy that could catch him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So people are jumping on that, trying to double up if they already have him too.
He's probably one of the most underrated guys on the Eagles because he's one of those holdovers from 17 that's always been chronically underrated. But then, like, the team got a lot better, and you just kind of forget about how valuable he is, and he can block.
I will say, when you watch them, though, it's amazing how many of their RPO stuff he's right in Jalen's eyesight.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's either stiff arm, most likely a stiff arm, and
Like the
A
20
20-yard
yards,
stiff arm.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, dude.
I got a question for you. What do we got for a Justin Watson anytime touchdown?
let me go to my.
While you're
data
there,
here.
what's the biggest wager you've heard of this week?
Biggest one we've reported is 800,000 on the Eagles money line.
Was
I'm
that you?
surprised. No.
Yeah.
I
not
got
all our
a million
clients
on
wanna
the
share
Eagles and
their
a teaser.
wagers.
Well, tease the Eagles and under.
I don't have a million on anything.
See.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm saying Eagles and the under though. What we were just talking about. That's the one. Because then you can tease the under up to what now 55, and the Eagles will be catching a whole touchdown.
I think we're calling teasing edging now. Actually, I don't know if you heard Nate say that earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
We're edging it.
Because we're getting he said we're getting edged by the gator outside.
Yeah. It's an industry term.
Tease.
Oh, it is?
Thank you, Steve.
So, yeah, what prop were you hitting for him?
Justin Watson. You
Yeah,
said anytime.
anytime,
12-1.
Okay. You like that, Fax?
I'm big on Noah Gray.
Yeah. Noah Gray's been playing great in the playoffs.
Under 1.5 reception for him is the most popular under bet we've taken. I mean,
Perfect.
it's
I love
always
over.
over.
But Trav, is that what you're saying? Under 1.5?
No, that's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
But it's real key. Are they going to play 12 or are they going to play 11 personnel? I think it's more 12.
I do too.
And he's going to be on the field that much more. And the Chiefs, the way they run everything, everybody's interchangeable. Yeah. You go back to the Bills game, you got to use the middle of the field. They start with Hollywood Brown running slants. Then Schuster has the big play. Yeah. Kelsey's obviously always there. But Gray, he's 11.5 receiving yards.
I like his
He's
yards
going
a
over.
ton because when he catches the ball, I mean, Pat put it right on him, I think, last week.
Yep.
And he couldn't haul it in or one of these games.
He didn't have anything, and that's the other thing. Trying to forget what you saw the last game. He didn't have anything last week.
Yeah.
And then he's gone over 11 yards 13 times this year. He's had an awesome season. Yeah.
You guys got anything else for the good folks at BetMGM?
Good luck to everybody.
Yeah, good luck.
With your
Good luck and happy hunting.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, good
Appreciate
luck.
it.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. I love that. That's our dad.
I like Bo just firing a 12-1 touchdown.
Justin Watson, baby.
I like that.
I like Grant Calcaterra. Sneak in.
Oh, I love Calcaterra, dude.
He's been really good.
Well, I think we got some guests coming soon. We're going to run an ad. Ooh. Okay. Bowl. As usual, New Orleans is the best. Can't wait. We got an Airbnb, beautiful spot picked out. And it's a good thing we did because there's not a lot of places to stay. The hotels got booked pretty quick. Plus, it's a lot better having privacy and your own place. You know, it's nice being able to walk into your own kitchen in the morning when you're feeling a little bit maybe hungover in New Orleans. While I'm gone, my house is just going to be sitting there at home. You might be like me. You might be headed to the Super Bowl. You might be going on a family trip. You might be going somewhere for an extended period of time or just a weekend, and you might not know how much your house can be worth. It might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host. Here, Smirnoff's taking it to new lengths, literally. They're rolling into New Orleans for Super Bowl LIX this weekend with the longest tailgate. We're talking a 60-foot truck bed loaded up with ice-cold cocktails, long grilling stations, and plenty of surprises. There's room for everyone at this tailgate, and it's all going down this Saturday from 1 to 6 at 201 Canal Street. Here's the kicker. We'll be recording the entire time. So pull up, be loud, and give us some moral support. My guys Vernon Davis and Warwick Dunn will be there too, and a special surprise performance. This thing's going to be massive. Smirnoff's the official vodka of the NFL for a reason, because they don't just do tailgates, they do game days. Whether you're in the stands or on your couch, Smirnoff's got you covered. So grab your crew, RSVP at the link in Greenlight's Instagram bio, and we'll see you there. Must be 21 or older to attend, and as always, drink responsibly, my friends.
Get this man some Don Julio.
I'm so tired, guys. I need a nap after this live stream. We got Malcolm Jenkins coming in about a minute or two. So if you're in the chat and you have any questions for Malcolm, please don't hesitate to send them in, and the good folks behind the camera will alert Malcolm.
My favorite thing about Malcolm is he's so polished and put together, and he's just, we're on day 5.
Oh.
But he doesn't give a fuck.
He's going to act like he's got it totally together
he's
right now.
He's so poised, bro. That's great.
Us, on the other hand, not so much. So, I always think back to that Super Bowl, and the Cooks hit was such a moment. Like, obviously, nobody wants a player to leave a game. It changed the game.
It did.
And then also just the momentum from, blowing a dude up like that. I mean, hey. What's up, buddy? We're live. You guys are live. Morning.
Oh, what up? Hey.
Hello. Macon. What's up, buddy?
Nice to meet you, man.
Dr. Fax, Nate.
What's up, Nate?
Good.
What's up here, bro?
Yeah. Chilling, man. I'll come there and gifts.
You got gifts?
And he's got a gift bag, too. That's phenomenal.
Gifts.
I appreciate it. Oh. All right, so, bro, this is a great gift.
You know you need that.
I'm all about whatever alcohol we're getting, but like something like this.
Survival pack.
I stole your fucking your pack 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I brought it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hey,
Dude,
what a guy.
thank you very much. This is my guy. This
Yo,
he
you
is
look
a
yoked on that
Renaissance
cover,
man,
Mal.
bro.
Let's go.
Look at him, dog. This is my guy. I'll just make sure there wasn't anything else in there.
Nah, yeah,
How you been, bro?
I've been good. I've
Yeah?
been good. Yeah, busy.
When'd you
I appreciate it. Thank you.
when are you like are you going to the game or no?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Where you sitting?
They got me in 130 something.
So in a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way you can watch the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and watch it on the couch.
Yeah.
So we were just catching up and kind of telling stories. When you walked in, I was talking about the Brandon Cooks hit and all the old memories from 17 and just how that changed the game. Maybe the first question that people are going to want to know is like, how did you feel going into that game about how we were going to play and match up? And did anything surprise you? Because I think that's the big mystery. Yeah. Is like we have an idea, but the 2 weeks is so long they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Yeah.
And you might think you have the right game plan and you don't. You have to adjust quickly.
Yeah.
What did you think going in? What surprised you?
Did you remember the last walkthrough we did?
Yes.
And I had to yell at Schwartz because he kept doing. We were afraid of the tempo that they would come out with. And we had all of those different sub packages. We were trying to match 21 personnel with sub.
Yep.
And I'm like, please don't. I said, hey, whatever you do, just don't call nickel versus 21 personnel because we will absolutely short circuit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened in that first drive.
Yeah.
They were pace. We were trying to change, and then we were getting caught in different personnels. So that caught me off guard. That was like unsettling. But I think we settled down after that. The one thing that Schwartz did that was really good that I think even surprised the Patriots was everybody expected me to be on Gronk, and they put me on James White.
Right.
And that was like super effective in the first half.
Right.
I don't think Gronk had a catch in the first half. And then after they came out of halftime, they targeted him like four times straight.
I know, bro. That big joker just started going.
Yeah.
I was walking around the locker room. I was told a story walking around the locker room, asking the guys on offense, "How many can you score?" Because I think we might give up some points, but it ain't gonna be like 40 points. But like, how many can you score? And I'll never forget just how confident the guys on the O-line were.
Yeah.
When I talked to them, and that's how the game played out to me. One of the most important things was they couldn't get pressure. Right. Harrison got a couple sacks, but we just owned them up front.
Yeah.
All right, the $1 million question that everybody asks me week to week. How would we play if we played this team? The Eagles team, 17 versus.
Yeah, I think this team is more talented.
I agree.
That's exactly what I've said all week.
If you look at spot to spot, I think they're more talented.
I agree.
I think we might have had like some stronger leadership, just because we had guys who've been there before.
Older guys,
and we had been battle proven. I mean, we lost our quarterback and still was able to battle with everybody in the league. That's kind of unheard of. But talent wise, I think this team is by far better.
Give us a game plan of how Coach Malk. What's our game plan when we're playing the Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts Eagles?
I have no idea.
When somebody asked me earlier this week, I was like, yeah, let me think about it. Saquon Barkley. No, I think they got us.
I think they got us just from that alone.
Yeah.
I don't know the game. I guess you load up the box, but I don't think we had enough on the outside. Nobody to go one-on-one with AJ.
Yep.
So we can load up the box if we want. It's going to be a long day. I think we always had trouble with running quarterbacks as well.
Yep.
So
we had trouble with Russ up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I for people at home, if you're wondering, do we think we're better or something? No, fuck no.
We were the top run defense that year, though, boys.
No, we were really good.
We were really good
really
against
good
the
at
run.
run
We had some grinders in there in the middle defensively.
But we also would jump people, and so
exactly.
we'd get them out of 4-minute mode, and so that's a big part of it. A lot of how a team plays in run defense is how the offense is playing too. So I do think I want to go out on a limb, and this isn't about me or Bo, but I do think our D-line, top to bottom, was better.
I think we were just deeper.
Fletcher Cox, bro.
Fletcher's so good.
I have this conversation with people all the time. I think people really forget how dominant he was that year. I mean, he was unbelievable. Yeah. And BG was younger. Yeah. And we rolled too deep. I think we had a little bit more depth. but their linebacker plays great.
Yeah.
You know,
It was a simple defense too. We lost Jordan Hicks that year. I was playing Mike linebacker for half of the season. Me and Nigel were playing linebacker.
The more you can do, that's
The
what
more you can do.
up.
You know, we played sub versus everything. So I think we were a lot, like I said, we were more versatile, probably matched up against everybody. I think we were better up front defensively, but I think and I think our safeties, me and Rodney were probably a little bit tighter than C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Blankenship, but not by far. They're super productive. Yeah. But I think, you know, we just had a team that I thought was tight, and we knew what we were doing. We knew how to play, even though we weren't necessarily strongest. We knew the scheme so well that we could figure things up. We can crash C-gaps. We can mess up the run just by tools that we had on the field.
Call, I'm like ready.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I forgot about that call.
Team, though, we had the intangibles. Like, dude, you talk about leadership. Like, we had guys. And Malcolm, like, incredible leader. Guy did it all the right way. Like, vocal when you had to be, but like a guy it's really easy to gravitate towards, you know. But like smart as fuck, gets everyone in line. But we had so many guys that had like been other places and just came together in the right moment. You know what I mean? The right city. So like, that's a factor too.
We loved each other, man. It was like really. I've been on a lot of teams, and you know, like it just felt like one of those teams where it just I don't believe in destiny necessarily, but like it felt like that a little bit.
Teammates a heads up when he's mic'd up.
Gunter, that's the rule. You can't walk around with a hot mic and not say anything.
Well, I got him back.
He did.
I got him good. That video is still circulating.
That was a classic.
That's so funny. I see that shit still. Yeah, that was great.
What's your do you have a favorite like memory that people might not think about from that playoff run?
From the playoff run, one of my favorite memories was when P-Rob got the interception in the NFC Championship game. Yeah. That was the loudest I've ever heard the Link.
Yes. And Darby getting trucked.
Darby got smoked. But hey, Jim shouted him out though. Remember in the meeting room? Yes, it was key. Chris had a great rush on that. Too.
Jim just texted me about that play a couple days ago. Yeah. He was listening to our show.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout
Jim
out to
texted me after the
Schwartz,
show and like he didn't correct me on something. But he was like, I agree or something. And I'm like, wait, oh fuck, Jim's listening.
Yeah. Hey, we better tighten up, boys.
I gotta tighten up. He might be listening now.
Yeah.
He loves Mal.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Schwartzy, man, kept it simple for us.
It's such a fun scheme as a defensive lineman to play in because, like, we, you know, D linemen aren't as smart as you, Malk. So, like, you can just pin your ears back and go. Like, you feel like you just are put in such a position to make plays. Like, your brain is off.
It made it so much easier on us on the back end, too, as a run fit. If I knew where y'all were going to be every time, I can play off.
Yeah.
We used to talk about that.
And you were down there in the mix, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously.
Every D lineman has different personality on gap integrity.
Yeah.
And you have to know.
Yeah.
Like the way BG plays is different than the way I play.
Yeah.
And like,
Just look at a D lineman. If he's white, he's just gonna do everything.
I'm just gonna
be in his gap.
Hey Malcolm, I'm out here.
Yeah, I'm doing my job.
I'm doing my job. You feel here.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just it was one of those things where everybody played together, communicated, and people policed each other. It was like, you know, if dudes needed to have hard conversations, they could.
Yep.
And it started with guys like Malk, so.
But everyone had different leadership roles too. Like Nick led by just being an incredible dude, you know what I mean? And everyone's just like, what a great guy. Like, I would die for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if I was gonna. You would die for him?
Oh, yeah.
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 Now that we won.
Now that we won it all.
Yeah.
It was so good seeing him back at the Link last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just the most humble dude. Like, the guy could walk around like he owns the place. He'd walk around like Bo Allen. Bo Allen walks around like he owns the place. We were in the locker room after the game.
Yeah.
I was all nervous about going in. I'm like, I don't want to be that old head that's like hanging around.
So, yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, go Birds. We won it.
We kicking the door.
We did it.
Wrapping up, dudes.
I was like, this is my old locker. I was like, this is my favorite urinal. It was awesome.
Oh, we were tore up. What was I gonna say? I had Kyle Hamilton in here, and I was telling him about when you used to come over and pass rush with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said, "Do you do that shit?" And he's like, "Absolutely. I've been working with Chuck Smith. You know Chuck Smith, the D-line coach.
Yeah.
I share that story because like when it comes to Malk, like, you know, that's the type of worker he was where we'd be in special teams and, you know, people are taking a break and on me and he'd come over and he'd be hitting the little fucking pads.
No stone left unturned.
I was trying to figure out how to get my pass rush going, you know. Dude. Sports used to blitz me all the time. I'm like, I got to get home.
I know, bro.
You never get time to work on those things. So I'm like, which is kind of crazy.
I know. Yeah. You know, and it often comes up in the biggest part of the game.
Exactly.
Which is why I think, you know, segueing into this game, like Spags, and you've played for Spags, I played for Spags.
Yeah.
He just preaches an attention to details that like really shows up in the big moments, whether it's leverage or whether it's where you fit here or like, hey, if you're going to be adding, like, we're not just going to send you from 10 yards deep and you're running down the middle of some guy.
Right.
You got to work your shit. That's why I think you see guys on their team that are really good ad rushers or really good blitzers because they're on the details. What do you think? What details do you think matter the most in this game for the Eagles offensively playing Spags defense?
I just think they got to. I mean, obviously he's a zone pressure guy, so you just got to understand where it's coming from at all times. Yeah. He's somebody in those pressure situations. You got to be aware, right? Because he's one of those guys when if you feel the game getting tight, it's a crucial situation. He's gonna come with it. Yeah. So it's just identifying those things, and because it's a zone blitz and not a man blitz, it doesn't leave all of the gaps, that you can get in man blitzing if they miss. Yeah. But because he's zone blitzing, there are hella holes in the zones.
But you got to go quick, right?
You got to get it out quick. You got to, but that requires you to pre-identify where it's coming from. Early, and if you can do that, the lanes are open.
Look at what happened at the end of last week's
That's
game.
what I'm saying. I don't really enjoy zone blitzing defenses because of that reason. Like, if you're not good at disguising or if you can't get pressure with the guys up front, it becomes really gappy. But, I mean, they do a great job. They're well coached. They're very detailed. They do a good job disguising.
And I imagine it's hard to zone blitz a really dominant, like, cerebral quarterback.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it plays well. I think they're going to have to figure out how to even stop the run with quarterback run first and then Saquon before they could even roll out their pressure package.
You got to get the third down.
You got to get there.
But
and then even still there, they're running it on third down too.
Yeah. Bro, I think both teams are all about, like, let's get to third and manageable. I think this game's going to come out and be like, let's value each possession.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is why I think that if I'm the Eagles right now, I'm on defense, I'm preaching we got to steal a possession somewhere.
Steal one.
Yeah. We got to steal one.
No question.
Because it's going to, like, we get to the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes is going to do something special. They're going to have an answer. You've got to have an ability to take away a possession here or there in order to even
I think it's got to be the D-line, man. Like, I really do. Like, when we played New England, they were going to get the ball out. Like, Tom was going to get the ball out. They're going to chip out. Whether it's 2-3 guys in the route, like, they're just going to make sure Tom doesn't get hit. Yeah. Mahomes, he's going to be back there. Yeah. So we're going to have our chances.
Yeah, we're going to do it, Chris.
We're going to have our I'm like in the meeting room.
I got a question for Malcolm. Cooper and Quinion are unbelievable. Yeah. Like, come in, play so well so early as rookies. Like, what are they doing that's kind of making them play so well, man? Just how are they so good so fast?
I mean, it's obviously a credit to them. They have the talent to play, obviously. Yeah. But I think the scheme allows them to keep it simple as well. Like, hey, on the outside, all you got to do is cover this guy. Yeah. Right? It's not much to it. And then from a nickel position, it does require you to understand leverage, run fits, things of that nature. And to see a rookie kind of handling that package is pretty impressive. But it's still not overly, complicated. They don't have him bouncing in and out or playing safety. Yep. He can stay in that nickel spot and truly, like, own it.
You know where he impresses me the most is the screen game. Yeah. Dude, like, he's such a dog, like, on the quick stuff. Yeah. And that's become an NFL staple is, like, get the ball out fast to the perimeter.
Yep. And that's just recognition and instincts. Yeah. Are your eyes in the right place, which is usually the Achilles heel of rookie DBs. Yeah. They're looking all over the wrong place. But when you're seeing different patterns of the offensive line. They're moving and they're bypassing D linemen. Those are telltale signs. Screens are coming. Yeah. And for you to see that as a young cat and be able to get tackle for losses and shoot those gaps and beat linemen to the point of attack, it's impressive.
Andy Reid has a great screen game too. Yeah. So that's going to be a factor.
Yeah. And the Worthy kid can beat you in one play.
He's so fast, man.
They can death by 1,000 paper cuts or one big play. And so, how about on the other side of the ball? We talked about the Eagles offense. Give me a hidden hero on the Eagles defense. Who do you think, if there's a dark horse to make the big
Zach
play?
Bond. It's easy.
Yeah.
I think Zach Bond is like I truly believe he's going to make a life-changing play in this game.
Life-changing.
Like, I truly do. Like, I was with him in New Orleans. To see what he's doing now, I was like, I don't think anybody could have predicted. I don't think he could have predicted.
Right. That's what he said.
Yeah. I mean, like,
right? But he's so humble and, like, he's just such a normal guy, like such a great dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you really want to root for him.
But it's also like the confidence that he's building. You see it now. He's like owning it, and you see it game to game. He's not just showing up to make a tackle. He's showing up. He's punching at the ball. He's like looking and scraping for every single opportunity. And it's like, okay, when you have the talent and you're locked in to like believing you're the guy and looking for every opportunity, they come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I truly believe he's going to need to play really, really well for this team to have success. And I think it's going to come whether it's a punch out or it's a pressure, somehow taking the ball away. I think if I were to put my money on somebody, it'd probably be Zach.
If you were to. Have you been gambling?
No, I'm not a big gambler.
You're too smart.
Yeah.
In 17,
leave it to us.
How much were you all thinking about the Brady and Belichick mystique of it all and not just X's and O's? And then how much do you think these guys might be thinking about, okay, Reed, Spags, Mahomes, three-peat, we're the only ones in the way?
I don't think we thought about a mystique at all.
I think it's harder now because, like, they weren't repeating. So, like, we kind of looked at it in a vacuum. I feel like those guys now might be, like, you know, caught up a little bit in that. But, like,
I hope not. I guess it comes down to who the leaders on the team are, too, and how they talk about it. Like, for me, I played Peyton Manning and beat him in New Orleans. So, and then playing Tom Brady, we had beat Tom Brady a couple years before. So, it's like, you know, if you want to buy into the hype as a team, you're probably already lost the game if you don't believe that you can be the ones to knock them off.
And I think there's a little voice in a lot of these teams' heads when they play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from them. They're excellent. They're here for a reason.
Right.
Or else everybody else would do this. But when you get down to the fourth quarter and it's in your head like, all right, well, what happens next is they make the big play, not us. And that's a mindset that you got to.
And it's a fragile line or a thin line because I think there's the realization that you need to understand that it's going to be a 4-quarter game. This team is not going to quit, and likely in the fourth quarter they're going to come on, and so you need to be ready to respond to that. But it's also like if the response catches you off guard, you're not prepared for it, or you in the back of your mind you're already waiting for them to. Yeah. For the moment for it to collapse, then
no question.
Once you get there, it's over with. That momentum changes and you can't get it back.
Well, that's the whole thing with the Chiefs. I do think out of all the teams they've had, like this is not their best team.
Right.
It's a fucking Super Bowl team. They can win the damn thing with this roster, and when you have Mahomes and Reed, but like, you know, you can't get caught up in the logo on the helmet. Like most of the year when I've watched the Chiefs, I've said, really fucking good team, beatable, like beatable. Now, they got the best record they've had in a few years. It's just kind of a crazy thing when you look at it, but you can't get caught up in the logo, man. Yeah. It's easy to do that.
Malcolm, you played against the Chiefs in 2020 when you were with the Saints. That Chiefs team eventually lost in the Super Bowl to the Bucs. Do you remember anything about that game plan? Like, I don't know, kind of.
Did we win that game? I don't think we did.
In 2020?
32-29 Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't think we won.
Do you know how many snaps he played in that game?
Too many.
Was that
98?
Oh my God.
That is absolutely
Which game
insane.
was that?
That was
Chiefs
2020
Saints.
Chiefs
Oh,
Saints.
Chiefs Saints.
90 snaps?
98.
98 snaps. That's almost triple digits, bro.
I played some triple-digit games.
That's insane.
Under Chip Kelly. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And
Bro,
not playing both sides
don't
of
even
the
get
ball,
me started
just
on
one side
that.
of the
Just
ball.
one side in special teams.
And special
Yeah.
teams.
You said don't get me started on him.
Don't even get me started on that, dude. With Chip, the thing was, I mean, you come out in that tempo, and then they go 3 and out early, and then you're just like, dude, I've been on the field, like, the entire game defensively.
I think 2 years in a row I played over 1,300 snaps.
Yeah, and I feel like you didn't miss a single
didn't.
snap.
I didn't miss a single one.
And you were, like, that was
I missed
later in
2.
your
I
later in your
dislocated
career,
my
bro.
finger versus Atlanta one year, and
Gotta
it
fix
came
that
out
real
for 2.
quick.
Yeah, gonna snap that back in place.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The snap game was on your birthday.
it was.
Saquon's birthday is Sunday.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Do you go into a game differently when it's your birthday?
I've never had to.
No, you don't go into it different, but you know, you want to give yourself a good day.
You're hoping for it. You want a present, you know?
If you got any control
Texting
over
you
it,
after an embarrassing loss.
right?
It'd be nice to get a gift, you know?
Yeah.
A Super Bowl birthday is crazy.
Talk to me about this whiskey, bro.
Yeah, so you familiar with Kinsey? So Kinsey Distilling Company.
I'll get familiar with it.
Is in Philly, right? So I invested in a distillery, and one of the products they make is Kinsey. So we did a special limited edition release of single barrel bourbon, the Malcolm Jenkins edition. So I got my face on it, my logo, signature. It's really smooth, 102 proof. So you know, I like my stuff a little stronger. Hit like a champion,
Smooth and strong, just like you, Mal. Let's go.
But it's got notes of cinnamon bark, cherry with a little citrus finish. But yeah, commemorating, you know, this Eagles run, celebrating that, but also, you know, going back to paying homage to when we won that ring.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Can
Man,
I
I
hold
brought it for you.
Thank you, bro. Can I pop it open?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Little nip.
little hair of the dog.
Yeah, you know.
I'm struggling.
Already.
I'm struggling to. Oh, it's got like one of
You
these like.
can put it in your
It's one of these. It's one of these
Yeti
like
flask.
kid proof.
You can put it in your new
Kid
Yeti
proof.
flask.
Can you open this for me while I continue to serve fastballs? We got Hot Rod coming in here. What's a question we should ask Hot Rod as you guys?
Ask Rodney who, and I posted this on the gram because I saw him talking about it recently. But who the best Eagles safety tandem in Eagles history is?
I like that.
Watch him go on a rant.
Okay. You get 2 cups or something, or
I'll take one too.
Yeah, we all
Fuck
need to
it.
take
Yeah, let's
one.
toast.
Macon, are you gonna
turn
take
down
one?
a drink?
No, the sun's not down yet.
Sun's not down yet.
Sun's not down yet. You in New Orleans, brother?
Yeah.
Hey, his first time. Tell him the airplane thing.
I haven't been on an airplane in 6 years. Haven't been on a commercial flight in 10 years.
Why?
He doesn't like leaving his house.
I really like my house.
What does that have to do with a plane?
Well, that
I
would
like staying
necessitate
home.
leaving the house.
But you don't drive a car?
No, I drive a car.
So what's the difference?
He
with
just
a plane?
doesn't leave home, bro.
I got 3 kids.
Yeah,
I have 2.
he's on a plane all the
3.
time.
I'm on a plane every 2 weeks.
How you feeling?
I feel great.
Physically.
I actually feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah. My body's.
Could you take 98 snaps on Sunday?
Nah.
How
I
much
got
Toradol
10.
would it take?
I got 10 snaps.
Thank you. And bring Rodney in for the change, and he needs to have one of these before he gets on, since we're all in here, bro.
Appreciate it.
And people on live, you'll have to just bear with us. This is.
You said notes of spinach?
Cinnamon. So you got
What
cinnamon
did he
bark,
say, bro?
I thought
cherry,
you said spinach.
You
and a
can't
little
take him anyway,
spice
dude.
citrus.
Don't have him come
Hey,
to
I'm
your
just trying to
whiskey
hear about
party.
the spinach whiskey, bro.
Spinach, that's crazy.
Did you say notes of spinach?
That might be the next batch, Malcolm.
With spinach infused.
We'll wait for Hot Rod to.
Oh yeah, you gotta come on in.
Where's he at? In the back?
Rodney.
Hey, we
Let's
gotta-
go, Rodney. Let's go.
Do you remember that?
Retirement,
Do you
baby.
remember that picture in the locker room after
Yeah.
the Super Bowl
Hot,
with the
Hot
blue
Rod.
label? There you go.
Uh-oh, dang.
What's up? Okay, come on now. Okay, you got the big rings. Yeah, you already know. I told everybody. I started there and thought I was going to have some more. Oh, yeah. My drug ended. That's it.
Come sit. So this is the turn. Malcolm's going. You're coming in, and he gave me some hard questions to ask you, but we want to do this shot before. Come on, sit on down, man. And Nate, today you're. Oh, where's Rodney's? No, fuck. This is like Eagles plus Nate thing. I don't.
Oh, I'm in here.
Just sit right there.
I'm in here with you guys. I can get in.
What is that?
Come on. I saw last night.
Oh, I see them too. Chris doesn't know yet.
What? What?
One of our old UVA teammates last night.
Oh,
I stumbled across the.
Oh, I saw. Oh, put this in front of you. The mic. Oh man, you know who else we seen last night? That was hilarious. Mike London's son.
you want to hang out for a minute?
I do.
Okay,
I'm ready for you to.
Why don't we all just hang out? You're not going anywhere.
Malcolm's got a question he wants to ask.
Hey, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
I love y'all, man.
Cheers, man.
Good to see y'all, boys. Cheers, bro. Hey, and to Rodney McLeod's career, bro.
Yeah, Rod, congrats.
A lot of great careers.
How many years?
I think he beat me.
13.
Yeah, he beat me.
Undrafted?
Unbelievable.
Tell them.
Unbelievable.
Talk about it.
Shout out to the undrafted.
All right. What you think about that?
Oh, it's fucking, I tasted the spinach.
That's hilarious.
It was so good, man. That really was good.
nice.
And I needed it.
There you go.
I'm not sleeping a lot in this city.
Right on time.
That's a mouth. Oh, love.
All right, so for people in the chat, we've got a few Super Bowl champions in here, old teammates. Rodney McLeod is the latest to join us. UVA legend, Cleveland Browns legend. They threw him in the cold tub. That's how I know he's a legend over there.
Shout out to Schwartz.
And carried him off the field his last practice. And how long was it that you had made your mind up this was it?
I feel like I've been contemplating it. I feel like I text you about
texted
it
a
over the
little bit about
years.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, when did you know? I think I was doing the same thing with Jink. And, start like having those conversations with yourself like in the off season.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't really know if the grind is for me anymore. Like it feels different. Like, that paid in full, like I'm walking different, I'm talking different. Like, that's it. That's it. Like I'm into different rooms now, and you find yourself like compromising the game.
Yeah.
And I've always respected it that much. Like I hold a high regard for the game. And so when I see that those things start to diminish, it's like, yeah, it's probably close to that time. And I felt like last year I thought that was it for me, but the injury, it didn't sit right with me. Kind of left my story incomplete.
Right.
And you never know how it's going to end, but I really put my mind to completion this year.
That's
like
right.
This year was all about completion, like finishing the career, but having like a start to finish season, like being available.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I said, look, it's time to go. And I had the little one by my side too, so that was even better.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
And I told you, I texted you, not to be sappy, but I was in Philly watching TV late at night one night, and here he is in Cleveland playing football, and they're running a story around Christmas about how his charity's still doing, what was it, a toy drive or what?
Yeah, we were
and
doing. Yep.
my man's not even,
Philly,
but he's still in Philly, and just super proud of you, the man, the player, bro, and when you talk to guys like Schwartz, man. Coaches love you. Players love you. You had an amazing career, bro.
Appreciate you.
So happy to have you on the show,
but
man.
look. Schwartz don't love me more than you love this dude right here.
No, but
hey, you feel me?
Like, nobody loves Matt more than Schwartz.
Level.
Nobody loves Matt more than
and
Schwartz.
nobody loves you.
More than
I'm saying UVA.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Yeah.
Roll out the red carpet.
No, man. Well,
it's
still home. We're still making it work.
Yeah.
We're still hanging out. Yeah. We still go to the same bars. We still go to Dirty Nelly's.
I wouldn't expect anything different.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the good. Nice. By the way, nice shoes, bro.
Appreciate it.
What kind of shoes are they? Because you're the fashion guy.
Little derby action.
You're both the fashion guy.
Yeah. I really stumbled across these on Instagram, and I was like, "This is a sneaky pickup right here."
These are Lulu.
Let's steal your swag, Rod.
Sneaky pickup.
Sneaky pickup.
Dude. So Rodney, me and Rodney were college roommates. He's literally one of my roommates. We lived in a house with 4 other. It was 5 rooms, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms.
Was this the Meat Mansion?
Turned into the House of Champs when we were in
you
it.
guys rebranded it.
Yeah, we rebranded it.
Meat Mansion to HOC.
There was one time me and John Phillips.
Oh yes, ask him about it
because
he established that.
It was
he established that culture.
You gotta explain this. The Meat Mansion?
Because it's like the Eagles. I know what you're gonna say.
Name.
Yeah, I know. Well, pause. And there was 10 guys in this duplex, and it was like
10 guys
all
in the
the
Meat Mansion.
biggest dudes, bro. It was just all the biggest, most like just brolic, like football movie looking dudes, bro.
What do you mean by biggest?
We were huge, bro. JP was in there. Clint was in there. You are ridiculous. Of course, I stayed on the top floor, and no, but then those guys came the next week or the next year. And here's the funniest part. Remember, were you with us when we maybe 4 years ago, we were drunk after a Virginia game, and we were like, let's go back to the Meat Mansion. Just rolled up on JP, rolled up, and just knocked on the door, and the people didn't want any part of it. We're imagining that they'd be like, yo, I remember you guys. And they were like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, it was the Meat Mansion, the House of Champions. The Malcolm question that he was going to ask you was who's the best Eagles safety tandem in history?
I heard him going to rant. I was like, I got to hear this live.
Yeah. Right here. You see it in the flesh. I mean, that is what it is. Like that's what I believe.
Yeah.
So just champions.
You can't.
1-on-1.
I'm not here to argue because
1-on-1.
guess what? I couldn't anyways. I didn't know what the fuck you were doing back there. I didn't know what you were doing there.
And stats. I ain't really checked nobody else, but
let's see. I put a poll out earlier because I wanted to see,
idea.
What it was, and we got 42% of the vote. Brian Dawkins and Quentin Mitchell got 45%.
Oh yeah, I played with Quignon.
I mean, it was
or not Quignon. Quinn Michael.
Yeah, Q.
He was in St. Louis, dude. I fucking OG.
Somebody said B. Dog and Michael Lewis.
And Mike Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, that was
another
nice
tandem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that decapitated Steven Jackson? He was like Shelton Brown.
Shelton Brown, corner.
Bro, that guy was a dog. He was a corner, though.
Yeah, corner.
Yeah, Vincent
It was
Jackson.
my first NFL game. I saw Steven Jackson's helmet get knocked 30 feet in the air at the link, and I was like, oh, my God. I was like, they just killed our king. I was like, they just killed our main guy, dude. What do we do now? It was a welcome to the NFL moment. But y'all definitely, like, Dawkins was just like everybody loves Dog.
Yeah.
But, like, the strength of y'all two together, the communication, the bond, bro, like, y'all were
was
just
cool. It was
two
cool
mature
because
dudes
we
back
both-
there. I felt good.
We were both
right.
raised by Greg Williams. That's
Yeah.
why. Like, so we understood, the mentality.
I love it, bro.
Yeah, we knew that same style of football.
Shout out to G-Dub,
Yeah.
bro.
I just feel
one
like
of one.
the league, they didn't brand us the right way. You feel like,
Right,
like, like honestly, because now, you hear about all these like tandems, dynamic duos, and I feel like just during that era of time, like numbers were justified it, championship sealed it, like solidified it. I don't like.
Yeah. I blame me because I was playing 10,000 positions. You couldn't really call me a safety.
couldn't call you a safety.
At one point.
That's fair.
I feel like Super Bowl year, I played
That's
more
fair. Just
linebacker
DB.
than anything.
Yeah.
I think the stats came out. I was 50% at like Will linebacker.
Damn, you had to be tired playing linebacker like that.
No, man, just run.
crazy.
Everybody's just run fast. If
I know.
I had to know where I was going, I'm not trying to take on the blocks.
Hell yeah, dude.
Bro, I had a
So,
lot on his plate. I was like, bro, I don't know how you doing this pressure, that pressure.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Hot Rod, can I ask you well, I guess I'm going to ask it anyways. I saw Njoku yesterday talking about Miles and how he wants him to stay. And you're not on that team anymore. We both know Miles. You play with Miles.
Hey, hold on. They still paying me till May.
Still gotta have something.
Gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful.
So my question for you is So my question for you is who do you think should play quarterback next year? I feel what Miles is saying. I mean, like it's that was a tough year, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, like, and you've been through some tough years. You've been through the ups and downs, but like when you're older, being on a team that's struggling, that really sucks. But I could tell, though. Tell me if I'm wrong. It seemed like the team was still close. The guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one thing that never wavered was the closeness in the locker room, and like you could see that with how guys show up on Sundays. Like it's evident. Yeah. Like a team. We've all been on enough teams. We could tell when they quit on the coach, they quit on each other. Like that was never the case. Yeah. And to your point, like he's getting up there in years. He's poured a lot into this organization. And as we know, man, every year is like precious, bro. Yeah. Like you don't get those years back. So you got to maximize it.
Yes.
And so, how can any competitor?
It's just hard to argue with.
No competitor can fault him for, for his conviction right now.
And to me, if you're going about like wanting to be traded or wanting to be somewhere else, there's a right way to do it.
Yeah.
And he played his ass off all year, and he's played his ass off through a lot of bullshit. He's played his ass off through losing, not having leads, like. For a pass rusher, if we don't have leads, it's hard for us to do business.
Yeah.
And, he's still doing business at a high level. Everybody's having a hard time doing business.
0 picks, bruh.
Business is bad.
Hey!
Them hurt. Them seasons hurt.
Hey, we met Denzel. Hey,
0 picks. Dude just like, what are you doing out there? Like, you ain't just fall into one? Like, nah.
No tips, no overthrows.
Nah.
Nah, man.
And the fans can digest that number pretty easy. They don't need to.
Nah.
They don't need any more information.
I ain't got nothing for you.
Well, I met Ward the other night. Yeah. We met Denzel's a good dude, man. Like you can tell he's a student of the game, bro. We were talking ball, like 1 a.m. And Nate comes back to the Airbnb. He's like, "Yo, you and Denzel Ward, you didn't need to be talking like that,
bro.
We're too lit."
It was like 1 a.m. in the morning. They're having like a real ball. I walked over and I was like, I'm getting over it. I'm leaving. I was like, I want to meet him and everything. I was like, but they're really having a ball talk, and everyone's drunk.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Denzel.
Like, if that's the conversation that we're having, I'm good.
He seems like a sharp dude. No, like a fucking coach's dream kind of guy, dude.
I told him that, like, bro, you top 5 corner that I've been around the league.
He's awesome.
And I've been, amongst some good ones. You talking Gilly, talking big play Slay, Janoris Jenkins, Ward, and maybe like trying to think maybe one other individual, but like he's in that class. Like just seeing him on a day to day.
I like you.
Shout out to Ohio State.
I like you brought up Janoris.
Yeah,
Jackrabbit.
Jackrabbit, tough.
He was tough, dude.
Tough.
Real
just
tough.
like, bro, the stuff Ward does, it's like athletic, like beyond gifted.
Yeah.
Beyond gifted.
Hey, did you see the video? We don't have to go into it, of with them talking about our team in St. Louis and all the things that were wrong.
Wait, is it my
No, it was
There's a thing
basically
about one of our
talking
teams. I
about
think
a
it was
30.
like
They should have a
2014,
30 for
and they
30.
went down like all the rap sheets on the team and all the bad things that happened, and then like down to like Greg Robinson catching that charge and everything, and they were like, and
Yeah,
who the fuck is leading this group of criminals?
And your name came up?
No. Because I said, I was like,
you would have bet.
I was,
when
but
I walked
I
into
said,
St. Louis, you the OG.
I was like on IR, so I couldn't really take responsibility. And what I said was, I go, to Jeff Fisher's credit, none of this stuff happened at the facility. So, but what? And they finished the video. This guy on TikTok, he's cooking. And he finished the video going through 15 guys, and he goes, and who's leading this group of men? He goes, must be somebody totally normal that's keeping it together. He goes, no, just fucking scumbag, mob boss, piece of shit, Greg Williams. He goes, no surprise there.
G-Dub can't erase that identity
at all. He can't change his beard, can't dye it, can't do nothing, bro.
Nor would
can't
he.
escape it.
He
didn't try.
Unapologetically him.
Top 5 coaches.
He tried to change his look after that
love
rap.
Greg, dude.
Top 5 coaches.
You know what it was about Greg? Like he could walk the line of like cussing you out and also being your boy. Like as good as any fucking coach.
Yeah.
He'd come in and give you all the business, but he'd also understand that like everything's temporary in the NFL. That people have bad games.
Yeah.
The one thing he couldn't deal with was loafing.
Oh my goodness.
Traitor.
Traitor.
The effort roulette was crazy.
Yeah.
Did he do that with y'all?
Probably a different name.
So he come in training camp, especially, and he'd ask somebody, pick a random period in practice, and he'd start clicking through and say, all right, tell me when to stop. Yep. And if anybody's on this tape, there's one play out of the whole practice. Anybody on the tape is loafing. That whole unit has got 40 up downs the next day.
Oh,
man, you want to talk about like that? He changed it. Like you talk about somebody who understands how to motivate people.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
To make you like be crazy and not only like. I'll talk about it in my book too, like the whole wet monkey theory, right? That he was doing that whole experiment. That hey, if you they had an experiment, you take 6 monkeys, put them in a room, and you put a banana at the top of a ladder. Any one of them go try to get the banana, you spray all the other monkeys with cold water, right? Eventually, what happens is the monkeys will stop each other from trying to get the banana because they know we'll all get sprayed with cold water. They'll beat each other up, right? So eventually, nobody attempts to get the banana. They put a new monkey in. The monkey goes to go get the banana, gets jumped by all the other ones. So eventually he understands, don't fuck with the bananas.
Right.
You keep doing that till eventually you'll have 5 monkeys that will not touch these bananas but have never been sprayed with cold water.
Right.
And he told me this story. He's like, that's how you create culture. And that was like
he's a fucking genius.
And that was his like 40 up downs. Every time somebody comes in the defense, you got to play this toll. And what happens is you'll see the same thing. Somebody who just got there last week had to do the 40 up downs, don't understand what it's about, knows nothing. The next week will be the most enthusiastic person.
No water on it.
Never been thrown in the fire. Don't even understand what it's about.
I'll never forget, like, he was just one of the realest dudes. Like, when I was injured and it was time for me to take a seat, he was so straight up with me. And you know how coaches will bullshit you? Like, I really valued that, man. Like, and he's been a lifelong kind of friend. And you know what, Schwartz, I talked to Schwartz the other day. I keep in touch. We were doing a show, and Schwartz texted me after the show. Was like, actually, that play because what I said, he's watching our live stream. What I said was, we were at the Eagles game last week, and like every time we come back, you guys know how this feels, and you will now as a retired guy. Like they just treat us like fucking royalty, and sometimes you're like, damn, do we deserve this? And I said to Bo last week, I said, this is all amazing as we're walking in the locker room and like, going wherever we want. I said, if Julio catches that ball,
none of this.
We don't get any of this. And that's how thin the line is between being a champion or being another good player that came back.
Man.
And so you just think about a journey like this and the journey these teams are going on, bro. Like, to win a championship, everything had to go right, and we had to make everything go right. And that's what makes it so special, man. So
that's real.
I can't wait for you to go back to Link and get that welcome back because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was watching y'all stories. I was watching it, from a distance. I'm like, okay, Bo out there, C-Long, the boys everywhere in Philly.
Foles is back. Selic's always there, and
I know Jay made some cameos throughout the year too.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
It's fun to go back, dude. That make you feel like
my favorite was going to a Sixers game and getting to my seats, and they're like, Malcolm's sitting right next to you, and I hadn't seen Malcolm maybe 8 months or something. But the bond we had on our team, man, it's like me and you pick up right where we left off. I don't see you for 6 months on end, a year. We don't talk for 3 months. But it's like it's the same thing with you or Bo or any of those guys, man. It's just
we always got to have that, man. That's why it's the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why y'all wear the rings and the Rolexes everywhere.
This is the first time I've worn this ring in a couple years, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Probably since Eagles won the Super Bowl last time.
I wear this a lot. Yeah. He wears it every day.
I wear it playing pickleball and shit. It's so funny. I feel like the top tennis players, they have the watch deals. I'm like, I'm out here at these shitty pickleball courts.
You're that guy.
It's so funny.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
Rod, last thing. What's next for you?
Family.
Yeah.
We all know, when you give so much to the game, you lose time.
Yeah.
So freedom is what I'm really calling it, and looking forward to just doing the things that I want to do, and not really putting too much pressure. Over the course of this year, it's game plan, figure out how you want to contribute to the game. I feel like I got to be involved in some way. So I'm in search of that. And then in the meantime, I'm enjoy living life stress-free.
Take your time, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about them Sundays.
Take your time.
I don't know,
exactly,
bro. Man.
It's a different stress. It is not going to stress me, bro. You wake up like, God damn, what I'm going to do today?
It's all the same
crazy, bro.
stress.
You
write a book.
Trying to rest was stressful.
Yeah, that's my biggest
That was a
problem.
surprise for me.
Sitting still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to having an objective every single day you wake up,
gone.
and having feedback. I either got better today or I didn't.
Yes, dude.
But what you mean by sitting still? Were you weren't working out?
No, I just mean we're so conditioned.
Purpose.
We're so conditioned that fear of failure to meet a demand.
Yeah.
To be judged, to get feedback, good or bad.
Idle time is scary too.
Idle time's scary.
Yeah.
But just not having a bigger purpose. But then what you realize is what you just said. I said, what's next? You said family.
Yeah.
Bro, one day you wake up and you're like, all right, I got to pay the bills. And there's a lot of things I could chase, but I'm home. Mm-hmm. We're home now.
What I would say is if whatever it is you aim it at, right? Let's say it's family, take the same approach you took with ball to that. Because sometimes we try to, all right, I'm gonna relax, and you don't have a schedule, you don't have a structure, and so what you end up doing is just sitting still, thinking about all the stuff you want to do and not doing shit.
Yeah. Exactly,
because
you're used to somebody being like, go do it,
exactly.
And you have to.
Exactly.
Malcolm made a great point earlier. It's football success is very black or white.
Yeah.
You have a great play, you know it. You have a bad play, you fucking know it, and everyone else knows it too. Wake up, Rod.
Wake up, Rod.
but and that's the thing is when you're retired from football, man, you get your wins, and it's not black or white. You just got to take your wins when you can get them.
And you have to. Another thing is bro, you got to stay confident in who you are.
Yeah.
Because whether you know it or not, we've been lifted up by the work, the praise that we earned. Frankly, we earned it and then some. But you're so used to people giving you that feedback, and you want to be coached hard, but you also want to be told when you do a good job. Right. And what you realize a couple years in is bro, I'm alone. It's just me. And you got your family and everything, but in your head, it's you. And so if you can master this, and what we're talking about, there's a lot of idle time and shit, and you be confident in yourself and not say, oh, I'm not the football player anymore. Fuck that. You're still Rodney McLeod, bro. Exactly. You're still everything you go do, you're still Rodney McLeod. Yeah. And he's still Malcolm. He's still kicking ass. What are you doing now? What's your next thing?
Bro, so I've been building businesses and doing all that stuff. My biggest thing is just trying to educate guys now, and that's what I found. My next purpose is okay, all of the things I've been doing, are bigger than me. So when I have opportunities, I try to create a vehicle for other guys to do it because I've gotten so many times, people say, hey, I've been watching how you've done this. How do I have success off the field, or how do I do this? And so I see myself as a even though it took me a while to accept it, but I understand that I am an example. Like, people are watching what I do. And so I'm trying to take that opportunity to teach and show guys how to build, specifically in franchising, guys that want to get into ownership of teams, all things that I've, been able to do over the last few years. And so I'm creating vehicles to educate guys. Rod is invested with me. We started Broad Street Ventures in 2020. Right. So just getting guys to understand, how to take, again, that same mentality that they, like, take who you are. You're Rodney McLeod. Like, all right, now let's aim that at your family. Let's aim that at business and aim that at yourself. Yeah. And show guys how to structure that, because I've had to figure it out for me. And I think a lot of guys get surprised when I tell them that I was struggling too in the first couple of years. But I'm like, it has nothing to do with who you are, how much you got going on. It's just the idea of understanding, one, who you are, two, how to use it for yourself, and then just understanding that, like, we come from an ecosystem where there's a ton of gatekeepers, there's a ton of people around us that hoard information from us. It keeps us very dependent, and that's another reason that when we get out of the game, we're looking for people to tell us what to do. Yes. And it's like, no, on this side of it, you're calling the shots. You're calling the shots,
which is scary.
It is.
And so did with these guys who all work for me would say, yeah, it's fucking scary.
It is.
And when he's calling the shots.
And one guy who helped me when I came out was Marcus Colston, receiver, played for the Saints. I worked with him for probably 6-7 weeks just on, like, how to transition my mind to sit in that seat, how to get the tools and set up my own schedule to do that. And I realized how beneficial that is, like, how to get guys to aim what they've already been doing, the work ethic, all of that at their own business. Because we work hard as fuck. Like, we train our bodies, our minds. But rarely do we demand that out of the people who work for us, right? And rarely do we demand our money to work as hard as we do. Right. And so we'll rush into, like, another job and do it all over again. And it's like, hold on, the people who are making the money are not out here busting their ass like that. They're working hard, but their money is working harder. Yeah. And so it's a thing that takes a lot of education, and that's where I found a little bit of purpose, just educating guys.
Well, just a piece of advice, one more thing. Remember you're Rodney McLeod, but don't, like, snap into, I got to run into this person like Emmanuel Sanders. Like, don't hit anybody. You're not that Rodney McLeod anymore. You just that's what we're saying. Take that same energy and start a fucking business or do whatever you're doing.
Speaking of that, my last question I got for Rod.
And then we got to let Malcolm go too.
Yeah.
And on the turn in, you guys will get to pass Matt Patricia and be like, what's up, bro?
And Malcolm might have some input on this too. Like, as a DB and as a guy that throughout your career you've had multiple fines for hits like that, necessarily people who don't play football, you're watching and they get angry. Like, how hard is it to, like, adjust or to figure out the whole new hitting zone?
It's impossible. It's impossible. Like, you feel
podcast
me? Like,
just went another 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's really, it's like, how can you expect somebody in real time to align somebody up the perfect way, like, to cater to the rules that exist?
The Pittman hit was a perfect example.
And at the end of the day, protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
My job can't be to stop the ball carrier and protect the ball carrier.
Correct.
Those two things are at conflicts all the time.
It needs to go on the quarterback.
Especially when they're taking advantage of it. They're sliding late. I'm like, anytime somebody gets hit hard across the middle,
it's you waiting for the flag.
Find the quarterback.
Yeah.
If the quarterback is sliding late and he gets hit, find the quarterback.
He will stop throwing hospital balls.
They will slide.
You know?
It's like, come on,
as simple as
punishing the defenders.
One of the all-time hits, though, is that Emmanuel Sanders.
Oh my gosh!
That's like my Sean. That's like my Sean T moment for the league.
Yeah,
like
that was sick.
Yeah,
that was sick.
that was sick. They don't make them like that no more.
Nah,
they'll throw you out the league for that.
But on God, I didn't get fined.
You didn't?
Wow.
It was clean hit.
That's
okay.
the issue.
Time out now.
It was clean for that.
If anybody, just go to the footage and look. I know you guys are smart. Shoulder to chest, clean. There's a lot of power was behind that.
Yeah. Who's your coach? Scumbag, mob boss, piece of shit. Greg Williams.
He got to go, right? Got to get him out of here.
Hey, guys. Two of the best I ever played with, two of the best people I ever played with. I love you guys, man. I'm
best
so happy
safety duo in Eagles history, boys.
Hey, best safety duo.
Put it out there in the world.
Hey, thanks for coming on the show, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Guys, we're live stream.
Yes.
We're making a little turn here. The guys are heading out.
Bro, I saw him at the bar last night. No way that's Mike in here.
Look who he's with. You see who he's with?
I was at Odell, like, bro, I know that's not Mike Brown.
Yo, you must have got there right when we left, and we was there.
Y'all were there?
No, I was.
Oh,
He wasn't there.
Appreciate it. Love, bro. Hey, y'all all the inspiration for me. The other side is possible. Yeah, it's possible. Boy, I know.
We're still live.
Still live.
No, we're live.
Are we no smiles? Yeah. Hold on, look at my Zen. My Zen's falling out.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Good deal. All right.
Yeah. Man, this was dope.
Let me know what you want later.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm solo tonight.
Good to see you, man. Yeah.
Wifey's here, but
Yeah.
Oh, bet.
So she's letting you actually stay out late. You're gonna stay out late
Yeah.
tonight. All right, cool. Hey, great to see you. What's up?
Amazing.
All right. So if you're still with us, we will be wrapping up with Matt Patricia.
Oh, I
My
thought
old
you were going
ball
to say
coach.
Matt Kingston. Fuck.
No, not Matt Kingston. Matty P in the building.
Matt, get up, man. Matt for Matt.
Hey, we're live.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
What's up, brother? How you doing? This is great, man. What's happening?
nice to meet
How you
you.
doing? Good to see you. Yep, nice to see you. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Dude, thanks for coming out.
Oh my gosh, what a setup, bro.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad. It's a little hot back here.
Little hot.
It's a good thing you have
Oh
a
my
gray
God.
shirt on.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll sweat
me
right
too.
through.
I'm like, yeah. You want anything, water or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you so much.
How you holding up?
Good.
Who you seen so far? You run into old players and that sort of thing?
I mean, you know what? That's probably the coolest part right now is just catching up with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like seeing you guys and, Brewski,
Yeah.
like all the way through, 20 years of coaching. Everybody kind of is coming in today. So
It's
a lot
my
of fun,
favorite.
man. It's been cool. Different on this side, right?
Yeah.
So,
Totally. And I went over and saw Bill the other night.
Yeah.
And you know what I love is like he gets to hopefully enjoy a Super Bowl week, because either he was playing in it
Yeah.
or he was not wanting
happy.
anything to do with it.
Not happy at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's been, it's been cool running into those guys. Let's start with this. You've been over at Inside the NFL a lot. We've been running into each other every week, eating lunch and shit.
Yeah, that was great. You
How-
guys did a great job. That was
Thanks,
awesome,
man.
man. Just watching you guys on that show.
Thank you.
Kind of, it was cool for me to see almost. I know, like we live our lives in the film room,
Yeah.
but like I could see, with you, like snapping right back into the like, hey, I'm learning. Like,
Yeah.
let me learn. Let me
Yeah,
take notes.
yeah.
And you can't help to do that when you're around Bill. Obviously, you want to absorb as much as you can all the time from him. But I know what's really cool as a coach when you have players that you talk to later and they're like, hey, what about this? And I'm like, wow, man, they were paying attention.
Yeah, we were paying
It was
attention.
super, super great to watch you guys do that. And like,
Yeah. They
did care.
it's like, yeah, exactly.
Oh, they did care.
You
Yeah.
just tried to make an impact.
Yeah,
That's
no.
like super
and
cool.
it's been so cool because when we're all playing together, coaching together, like we really all are coworkers.
Yeah.
And like we're all in the middle of a stressful thing where we're after one thing. Like we hang out and we have fun, and you and I had a blast in New England.
Yep.
But it's cool now to see everybody on the other side.
Yeah.
And to be like a peer of Bill's, like, which I don't want to use that too loosely, but I have a lot of fun sitting in production meetings with him.
You know what's fun is like so obviously when we're in that pressure cooker and we're trying to win, right? You got that. It's like, shit, we gotta win, win. But once that's taken away and we can actually just talk and like hang out, that's the best.
Yeah,
part, that's where the relationships are like the best.
It's really fun seeing coaches like once you're retired and you chop it up. You're like, hey, what about this? What about that? Like guys you're with, guys on the other side of the ball. It's like seeing like you go away to college, as like an 18-year-old, and you come back as like 22-year-old, and you see your dad, and you're like, oh, like we're both like men.
Oh,
Like,
we're
we
the
can
same.
talk.
We're the same.
We're the
I'm
same.
an adult
yeah.
too.
It's like it's so much fun.
But I still
man.
never feel like I'm the same as Bill. Like Bill he's like, now he cut it up with us all year, and like honestly, I tried to tell people, like he's not the guy you think he is. Like he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have something every day in a production meeting, and Nolan's here too. He's in the production meetings that I like my face hurts from laughing.
Yeah.
And he's great, and I think he made everybody on the show better. And like Chad was amazing this year. Chad's a star, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I felt like this year was so big for Chad, and one of the keys, in my opinion, was Bill being with him because it just brought out this excitement in Chad.
Yeah. That was the coolest part when Chad came to us. You know, it was his personality, and you know how it is. Like you were in the building. Everyone's like, "Oh, we got to kill." Well, I don't want to kill anybody's personality.
No.
Like Chad coming in
He's
and
got
being,
so much charisma.
It was so much life. It was so much
Trust
joy. Like
me.
every day, I was like, we'd be dying. And,
Trust me, I made myself at home.
Yeah,
I was myself.
Yeah, it's great. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, the thing I love about Coach is like you guys spent more time with him than me, but I was on IR in New England and like it was COVID year. I'm on IR. I don't have shit to do, so I'm just watching. You know what I mean? And he truly loves football players. You know, like he has his guys, and we interviewed Vince Wilfork the other day. It's like he has his guys that he loves, and he brings them up nonstop. But even guys that he never coached, you know, just guys that he has so much respect for. And I think that's so cool. To be the best coach of all time, you still have such an appreciation and respect for these other players. It's a really cool thing.
He does.
He loves the game, but he really loves the players. It's a cool thing.
So who do you think coaches, let's say, like, if we're guessing, Bill's Mount Rushmore of, like, favorite untouchable players? I know one. He stopped us. We fucking beat the brakes off Cleveland, and then he's like, "Stop the bus!" Like outside the stadium, and the whole team is in front of the Jim Brown statue.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yep.
LT's the other.
Yep. Brady.
And then the fourth, I think.
Who'd you say?
Rodney.
Ooh, Rodney's definitely up there.
Richard Seymour?
Rodney's phenomenal. Richard's phenomenal.
But
I think he's going to switch gears. Don't forget, Bill at heart, special teams.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going to go special teams route, and I'm going to say Matt Slater over Adam Vinatieri. He would put up there.
But you should have heard him talk about Rodney Harrison.
Oh no, Rodney's like
Yeah.
Rodney Harrison. Oh my God, we love that dude.
Yeah.
Like my old heads back in the day when my linebacker room was like, you know, Brewski, Jr., Willie, Vrabel, Roosevelt, Colvin, Larry Izzo, Chad Brown. Like that room was. I didn't know if we were going into coach football or fight. Like I wasn't sure. Like alpha dogs. Like, but Hot Rod would come in, and it was just a whole nother level of like intensity. And man, that guy, I love Hot Rod. He would, you know, like we'd be running the show teams, and I'd be doing special teams. I'm like holding the cards up and, you know, trying to get all the guys. And again, Adam Vinatieri is my kicker on the show team. I got Troy Brown in the huddle. Like, you know, great players. And, you know, Hot Rod would come in and he'd grab a beanie and he'd put it on. He's like, "We don't need this card." I'm like, "Okay." You know, and he'd like line up, we like kick it, and he'd like, we were in full pads. And he would like, whoom, he'd be running down, he'd like, blowing dudes up. It'd be like yard sale, like bodies everywhere. He'd go down, he'd get the running back, throw it down, he'd look at the special teams coordinator, like, "You better get a better return. That one stinks." And he'd like walk off, and I'd be like,
I love that.
"Okay, this is unbelievable." You know, it was like, that guy was, he was unbelievable.
The stories that Vince was talking about, like the 2-minute drills at the end of practice where like it'd be Vrabel and Brady going at each other, and then you'd have to like they'd be like lining up again.
Herb Brooks again, get on the line.
And it was the players saying, "We want to do it again."
Yeah.
You know, because of competition, not somebody fucking it up, but somebody won the drill.
Yeah.
And so the other guy's not going to take that. And you know, like it just those stories. Once the players kind of take ownership of shit, like you're winning.
You know what's so great for us as coaches? Honestly, we had such great players like yourself, and the building was so awesome. A lot of times you just really just sit back and watch, you know, and you'd be like, "Okay, here's the herd, and the herd is moving in this direction," and like maybe some guy's left behind in the herd, and you're like, "Okay, that guy probably doesn't fit." And you know, it was all about trying to build the best team.
Right.
You know, it was the best team for us was going to win, and honestly, the players dictated it. You know, the players knew better than you did. You know, who was going to be responsible or out there, and they knew who they wanted to play next to and all that stuff. So it was really cool to watch, you know, especially as a young coach, and then to be able to carry that through as you're developing those other guys.
What do you miss about actually being on the grind?
Yeah. Well, you know what's nice is like I miss this, right? I miss like being in the room, being in the building, hanging out, and like obviously with the players was so special, but even the coaches, you know, like we're
coaches are just players,
well,
for the most part.
But no,
coaches are just guys who don't want to go home.
Especially in Foxborough.
Yeah, dude. I'd be there late as shit, and he was always there in the hot tub.
I know, you come by, like, you okay? And I'm like, I'm not okay.
You told me a story one time, Coach. I gotta ask you. You told me a story one time. They were in the hot tub. or he went to the facility, saw you eating some pizza in the hot tub.
Yeah, he was
Bro,
like
I didn't kill 2 birds with one
like, bro,
stone. I didn't
like,
have enough time.
he's so busy. He's so busy.
Efficiency.
Matty P, those
I'm
guys,
so
like,
glad.
it was like the best facility ever. Like,
Yeah.
as far as they had the state of the art stuff and all
The
that
calf
stuff.
was great,
But like,
dude.
dudes,
The calf is
if you're
great.
smart, you'd hang out at the facility all day because like it's
There isn't shit else to do in Foxborough either.
Oh yeah, and I was on North Road, which is like right behind.
Right behind, yeah.
So it was so easy to go in. And I just remember picking a spot before I got there, and I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm living that far from Bill Belichick's meeting." Like my nightmare was waking up late for. Oh my god!
Like what time is it? Oh my god! And then you're running.
Oh yeah, I know.
I was in the hot. Yeah, definitely pizza in the hot tub.
The za, dude. The za. He had the za.
I was trying to kill 2 birds with one
Yeah,
stone.
Coach, it's funny you say that. Like the thing you miss most is just fucking around chopping it up. Like you talk to any real guy that played for a long time, it's like you ask him, "What do you miss?" It's always the guys. You know, it's like that's what we try to do here. Like we used to fuck around the hotel, you know, the night before the game.
Night before,
you're playing cards, you're just laughing, telling stories, you know, and that's kind of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's our favorite. My favorite memory, like I think back to like Philly or New England.
Yeah.
Was like staying up late
Yeah.
on a Saturday night, later than we probably should have, because like we're still down in the meal room at 10:30.
Right.
And that moment when you look up and you've been sitting there with 5 of your best buddies who are doing this thing tomorrow that's incredibly intense, and we have to rely on each other, but like we're just cutting up a little bit and laughing, and you look up at some point and you're like, fuck guys, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
We gotta go,
Yeah,
dude.
You're watching a Pac-12 game, and you're like, all right, we gotta go.
But that was the best. Like when we'd get to the hotel, and I always loved, even during training camp, we'd go away for a week because it was like we can just leave everybody behind and let's just go hang. Let's just go hang.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, hey, make sure you guys go to dinner someplace. Make sure you guys do go do something together.
Yeah.
And you could sit back as a coach and watch the meal room, and especially Saturday night. Like if there was a good SEC game or something, because you knew half the team was going to be yelling at each other, and it's coming down in the end, and these guys are on these guys. There's the one guy who's like cheering with a minute left because they just scored, and then 50 seconds later the game goes the other way and Alabama wins and 20 guys are killing that dude. And you're like, this is great.
Dude, watching Miami and Florida State with Nigel and Timmy and those guys, like those guys were, I mean, it means a lot.
And then they tell the little stories that you don't get to hear, you
Yes.
know, unless you're there, and you're just like, this is the fucking best.
So here's something I wanted to ask you, Matt, because I feel like if I get Bill, which I'm hoping I do at some point, I'm not gonna be like, hey coach, I don't remember what y'all said at halftime, because it's such a blur.
Yeah.
But 28-3,
Yeah.
people are always like, hey, what went on at halftime?
Yeah.
And I'm
You
like,
don't remember?
honestly, we stretched.
Yeah.
We made sure we were fucking loose because it's a 40-minute halftime.
Yeah.
And it was like, Bill came in, and I think he said like something to the effect of one play at a time is the only way we're gonna get back in this game.
Yep.
And Jules and Dew
Duran.
and guys
It
like,
was Duran.
and Dew goes, we're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking like, can we just start with a stop?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Like
I tell you, so here's what happened. We go in at halftime, and if you remember, it was Friday night before the game. I had just gotten done watching the Chargers play Atlanta, and it was the same thing. Chargers were way down in the first half, and they came back in the fourth quarter and wound up kicking a field goal to beat Atlanta. So we watched the game on Saturday when we had our last meeting. I said, hey, just watch this. I said, they're going to, they start fast, but watch this game. And it was the Chargers. So right before we went in at half, I said, in my head, I was like, we just saw this game. I'm like, we literally just saw it. So we went in at halftime, and it's longer. So we go in and we do the, hey, here's what happened in the first half. And then we break, let you guys do what you're doing. And then I went and I changed everything. I was like, hey, listen, we're going to all the red area calls. We got to get Julio. Because, of course, we went in there and like, Julio's hurt. Like, he can only cut this way. So we're going to leverage him here. And, like, first play, he catches the in cut, reaches over Logan, catches it. I was like, whoa, we got to change all this right now. Like, we're totally
He's
wrong.
still good.
He's good. So I'm that guy. Oh, my God. So going at halftime, I tell the coaches, hey, we're adjusting everything. We're going to, like, leans and doubles and taking Julio out, and then the fronts, we're changing some of the fronts up. And I remember I got back in front of everybody, and I was like, all right, listen, this is how this is going to go. First play, they're going to run the ball. Hi, I need a TFL. I go, third down, we got to get off the field. We're going to push the coverage here. I'm like, it's coming backside. E-row, that's going to be you out of 3-by-1. And I go, it's going to be a 3 and out. We're going to be good. I'm like, this is just like the Charger game. We watched it the other day. And Dew was on the bike. And he was pedaling, and as Duran is pedaling, you could feel him, like Duran.
Yeah, he was charging
like, hey,
up.
He was charging up, and I don't know why, because we were kind of separate. Julian comes walking in, and Jules is like walking in, and Duran and Julian, they start chirping at each other, and I just remember turning around going, holy shit, we're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna, because it was just like everybody locked in, and we did come out. They ran to high TFL. They came back out. You know, we got the third down stop back to E row, and then as the game went, it was like one play, and then we got to the turnover. And we knew that, I knew it because the running back got hurt.
I heard you talking about that whole
You remember
thing.
that?
Well, yeah, I happen to have a different vantage point through the back of the tackle's head.
I know.
But I was like, damn, how'd you get there so fast?
Yeah. It was great because he just, we walked late and it was all, came and I just thought we were going to scoop and score.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get it, and Branch wound up recovering it.
That's where I really, I always believe because, I'm here, I have to believe. There's no point in, honestly, belief is cool. But, you're fucking there.
Yeah.
Finish the game.
Yep.
Finish the game. But that ball, when it hit the ground, is when I think everybody started believing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the tide turned.
Yep.
And, it kind of goes back to talking about the Chiefs. Late in games, teams playing the Chiefs get tight. They make mistakes.
Yep.
And you could feel them start to – the ghost of who they have been.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You nailed it. So, the Chiefs are winning in a different way, right? And you game plan them. It's not the normal game plan. You got to do certain things to kind of, obviously Patrick Mahomes, but it's not the normal measures, right? It's not the turnover ratio. It's not this. It's not the rush game because there's different ways that they're winning. But the one thing that I think is really cool, and it's the same experience we had when you were at New England, is there was something about New England where there was a mystique. There was something always, there was going to be doubt in your opponent's head. Now, you were going to get their best shot.
Yeah.
But once you saw that moment where you did something and you gave them in that doubt, you'd see it in their eye. You'd see it and you'd be like, it's go time.
We felt that in the Super Bowl at times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
and great teams feel that.
When we played y'all,
yeah.
we had to get certain guys, hey, stop looking at the fucking logo.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Hey, these guys are amazing.
Yep.
I was in the locker room with them. They're amazing. But, it's a football team.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that. There is something about, a collective will of a team, just this intangible thing where it's just these guys, they have this belief, and it, manifests itself on the field. It's crazy.
Which is why we love this game.
Yeah.
Because it still has that. And I remember when you went to Philly, do you remember texting me? Because we had just won, and you had texted me like, hey, he's like, I think these guys are really special, and I think we can do something here. And I was like, well, listen, you're a great leader. You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Go paint the picture for them and go. And you're like, I appreciate that. And, we stayed in touch that way.
Yeah, dude. Well, we've talked ever since. And that was the whole thing. When I left New England, I really didn't have – it was literally just a pragmatic decision by me as a 33-year-old man or whatever I was, where it's like, all right, I only have so much time left. I got to go and play in a scheme that kind of fits what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And y'all –
Because, first of all, you are the most unselfish player ever. I'm telling you, we've
had
this
I'm right here, coach. Come on.
we've had this conversation before, and look, coming in there is not easy, and for us, because whatever, we had to change some things.
Yeah.
And you were great because as an older veteran, you sat down and I said, listen, I don't want to do this, but this is what we got to do. And you're like, hey, I'll do whatever we need to do.
Do whatever.
I fuck with Chris all the time because he's like, I'm down there playing 3 technique, and it's like,
I know.
He's joking about it, but it's like,
I enjoy playing the run. I love being in a 4-eye. I love being in a fucking 6.
Strength,
but a 3 can be a little tough.
Yeah.
And at that year, I was probably 260.
Yeah.
And
then we had the conversation. You were like, "Hey, can I move?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. Listen, you know what you have to do. Just do it. I don't care where you are." And then, but just your unselfishness to do that, to help us put other pieces in play, which we needed to do.
But that's what it takes for everybody in the locker room. And
but that was awesome.
But every dude, and I'm not going to come that far, Matt, and say, hey, I was done before I came to y'all.
Yeah.
I got hurt 2 years in a row, and I said, I'm fucking done. I had a son. I'm in the hospital when Bill calls. I go to the supermarket, Bill calls. Otherwise, I'm kind of done. BD texts me in the hospital. And that's where it all starts for me. And I wasn't going to come that far and then not do what it took to feel what y'all felt.
Yeah.
I just wanted to feel what y'all felt.
Yeah.
And, man, I always say this, y'all saved my fucking career. And some of the best times of my life were had in Philly and in New England.
Yeah.
And you know how much I go back to Philly, and it really clicked with me. The city, the whole thing.
Feel the same.
But I don't even have that if it's not going to New England because I was ready to quit.
Yep.
And so I just appreciate you guys,
man.
I
told you guys the night before the game. I said, we win tomorrow, we'll be bonded for life.
Yeah.
I said we'll be bonded for life, and it's something because we'll experience something together that not a lot of people can do. And
we
know,
just
I'm
had this
telling the whole
conversation
story.
with Malcolm and Rodney.
Rod were sitting here. I said the same thing. It's like that's the best part about winning, man. It's like you get together and you always have that. It's like, hey, what's up? It's so good to see you, champ.
You pick
What's
right
good?
up.
Yeah, it
he's
does.
Great.
When I saw you in Philly, when you were there in Philly, I was so happy to see
So
you.
happy, yeah. So
you know,
excited.
it's just like it's all big hugs and yeah, bro.
Yep.
I mean,
right back in the moment.
But man, like the group of guys on that team, and this is the thing, like New England. People have like reputations that they apply to like what it's probably like and the whole thing. And like my buddy Lane said it wasn't fun. So everybody said, I said it wasn't fun. I had a ton of fun with the people in that building.
Right.
Hightower, Jules, Dola, Ninko. I had so much fun with Rob. How much fun did me and Rob have,
you
bro?
guys were like
it was like
two
Step
peas in a
Brothers.
pod all the time. I'd be like, listen, I'm like, are you guys okay today? They're like, and you're giggling. And I'm like, they're fine. Just
Hey, I was just texting with Ninko yesterday, but like, you know, I say this, the quality of the people in that building, the men, dude, like you play with a lot of players, but I'm talking about like a grown man. Hightower to me, younger than me, and I've told him this, he was a special leader.
Yeah.
You know, like, and there were special leaders. Matt Slater.
Yeah.
Would if I had to leave, sorry guys, including you, Meg, one of my best friends in the world, known him forever. But if I had to leave and drop my kids off at somebody's house, I had to skate for 2 weeks. It's Matt Slater.
Yeah,
I love them.
I've already tried to get Matt, like his son with my daughter, because I already know like it's gonna be like, you know, that's how good of a guy he is. You know, this is who I need my daughter to marry, is his son.
But it's a self-selective thing. And it's like you're not gonna sign up for that tough road if you're not fully opting in. You know what time it is. And so when you go to New England, you just have to check. And it was hard sometimes to like check your ego. Like everybody's got one, dude.
Right.
There were fucking weeks where I was frustrated with you,
with
BD. Sometimes I want to choke BD, and that's my homie from back in St. Louis. Like I was with BD before he had any of these fucking rings.
Can we talk about that? This is what, Super Bowl 10? How many Super Bowls has this coach been in?
Dude, I was with BD when he got let go in St. Louis, fired the whole staff. We had a beer at Kruger's down the hill in Clayton. I'm like, what are you going to do next? He's like, I got some irons in the fire. Like, you know, I might. And then like 7 years later, he's got like a bill hand. You know what I mean? Like, good for him.
Oh,
but
love BD.
It's
BD's
not all
great.
sunshine every day.
No.
As Jerry Jones would say.
Well, you know, the grind is what makes the highs a little bit higher.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite memory from that year that people might not remember?
Out of 16?
You got too many great memories. It's hard.
I've been very blessed, for sure. I mean, obviously the big game is, you know, put that one aside, but I think besides, you know, us and the team, I think one of the cooler things for me was my son was finally a little bit old enough to kind of like understand what was going on, because most of my, you know, like my kids were little, but seeing his eyes, see it, you know, kind of reminds you of like, okay, I remember being that age and like falling in love with football and being around it. So that's always something to me. Like that was about the time when they started to get in.
That's
like having
cool.
the confetti come down and they're doing like
That's
snow angels
super
and
cool.
stuff like that, and having those pictures it's a lot of fun.
I got a completely different question, kind of in the same vein. You said your favorite memory from that season. I love asking this from guys that played forever, because sometimes it sticks out more. Is there one play that still haunts you? You know what I mean? It keeps you up at night. I know there's one. I love asking vets this because they've made so many plays, but
it's an easier question to answer than what's your favorite.
Yeah,
play.
It is. Like I remember all.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, honestly, you know, I'm still hurts. I mean, that's 17.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're welcome. But that
You'll
one
be
kills,
okay.
that one
I think
kills
you'll
me.
be okay.
That one kills me right now.
Yeah.
You know, but those are the ones you remember, are the ones that really.
It's crazy because you've such a storied history in, you know, coaching, and for us as players, it's like, oh yeah, I made some great plays, but it's like I got fucking rolled on this double team that one time, or I missed this sack,
or plays that nobody remembers, and you're just like, oh, I was so close, or I just did something wrong.
And then you see a guy who's on the other side of it, and they bring it up, and you're like, yeah, you fucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so funny. It's
All right,
interesting.
I got a sequence. Atlanta's up 28-20, 4 minutes left. They're on the plus 22.
Yep.
And then they back up 23 yards.
Yeah.
Do you remember how that happened?
Yeah,
well, that's
absolutely.
a fucking layup, but it's also stupid as hell that they even backed up.
Well, so here's the deal.
I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan.
Julio, I'm right here. Julio catches it. His arms,
It's the most spectacular.
they go 10 feet long, and he catches the ball, and I see the whole thing, and unfortunately, like in the big game, I've had this moment, right? I've had David Tyree, who I coached in college. Didn't catch anything, right? This is the one you catch. This is the one you're catching, Dave. Yeah. Part. I'm like, what are we doing? Then, so that's in Arizona. Then I go 14 and 11, right? So I got the one on the sideline with Manningham on, we're in Tampa too. We've knocked out both tight ends. They're on the third tight end. They're running double seam. I'm like telling the safety, I'm trying to get the safety wide because I know where it's going. And he catches this ridiculous thing in front of me there. So I have those two. Then we go 14. And we got the juggling catch that goes down in Arizona again, in the same building. And they're like, he caught it. And I'm like, I hate this place. Like, I hate this building. This game is killing me. That was a curse play. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I'm like, this building stinks, right? Yeah. So Julio catches it here. I don't know how. And everyone's in the headsets. He's out of bounds. He's out. And I'm like, fellas, his toes are there. But his arms are like way over. I'm telling you, he caught this thing.
Believe it or not.
I just went into mode, and I'm like, okay, first one's going to be a run. So I had Devin Blitz to get the TFL. Now they go backed up, and everyone's yelling in the headset, they're going to run it again. They're going to run it again. And I'm like, no, they're not. I just, you have those moments in the game where things slow down. They had the quarterback of the year. They had the offensive coordinator of the year. I'm like, they're going to throw it.
That's
now,
crazy.
I just knew it. I was like, they're going to throw it. And everyone's, everybody's yelling, they're going to run it. And I was like, so we went diamond. We went to 5 down.
Diamond.
I had the peel call.
Forgot about diamond.
Right? So everything's lining up, and I'm looking, and the back is wide. I'm like, oh, it's a wheel route. I was like, this is not good. This is not good right now. And I'm like, oh, this is about to be a huge play. So snap, he wheels it. Trey. I love Trey. I love this man.
Yeah.
He's on the nose. He hit it. Boom. Knocks him down. I was like, oh, he totally saved me, right? Yeah. So,
So
coaches are only good because of players.
Was he open on the wheel?
Huh? We were peeling on it. It was
just a bad matchup. Was it Shea or me?
No, it was.
Well, either one.
No, who? Gosh,
you don't want either. You definitely don't want me running with the wheel.
No, it wasn't. I'll think of who it was. But it was like, I was like, we're in trouble. Trey saved me.
Jabal, maybe.
It was Jabal. Yeah. It was.
Don't want Jabal running with the wheel either.
No, you don't want him running. And he didn't want to run with the wheel either. He's kind of probably looking at me like, can I just go? Yeah, let me go. So Trey saves us, and then we get to the next play.
Yeah.
And on the wheel, the one where Trey sacks him, I'm watching high, and he's getting held.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, they're going to throw. And then I was like, so I click, and then I'm clicking. I'm like, hey, we're going to get a holding call here. Just, do the same thing.
Yeah.
And we got the holding call, and they completed it. We got the holding call, pushed him back again. Yeah. And I was like, here we go.
But
and
why throw it a second time? It's just like one of the biggest mysteries, and I'm okay not having the answer to in my life.
I mean, I've had 2 of those plays in the Super Bowl, and sometimes they throw it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they throw it, and sometimes you got to pick it off, or sometimes you got to sack the quarterback.
I thought it was over when Julio caught the ball.
It was really. It's the most.
It's crazy the way you fight so hard.
Yeah.
And you think maybe it's over at 28-3.
Yeah.
And me and Ninko sitting on the bench, he told me leading up to the game, I was all excited. He goes, if you lose this game, you'll wish you were never here. And at halftime, I looked at him. I was like, is this the feeling? And so you think it's over there. And then you climb the mountain, and we fight so hard.
Yeah.
And when he caught the ball, I remember just looking over and thinking, damn, the whole year flashed before my eyes. It's over, bro.
Yeah, no.
I just could not believe it.
There's more to go.
Could not believe it.
There's more to go, and you just got to keep going.
Yeah. And then when Tom got the damn ball in overtime, I was like, me, Branch, High.
Yeah.
As soon as we won the toss, take our helmets off, and we go, let's go sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Because we're not going back on the field.
And poor Devin McCourty, right? So he unfortunately has been through this with me before, where even after in the Seattle Super Bowl, Malcolm picked it. So I'm in my head going, all right, look, we're on the minus whatever. They could get it at the 50. They feel like I'm going through scenarios because I'm just like, what's the next scenario? Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing was at the end of the game, before overtime, we cover kicks, pin them down. We stop them, and I literally remember clicking on the bill, and I was like, we're about to win the Super Bowl in the craziest rule no one's ever heard about, because I thought we were going to get the free kick.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, we're going to get the free kick.
Yeah.
And we didn't. Go to overtime. So now I'm instantly like with the DBs now, and I'm like, hey, coverage wise, here's where we're going. And like, no one's looking at me. Like, no one's paying any attention because the offense is out there. And I didn't even care. I just needed to talk to somebody, and I did not want to see what was going on behind me. So I know Devin was like, yeah, we got you, Matty P. We got you. We're good. We're good. Tom's about to score right now.
Let us
It's
enjoy
good.
this.
You can keep talking if you want to, if that makes you feel better, but we're about to score.
We sat down, bro.
Yeah.
We just knew. I mean, it was
crazy.
and the release after that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you stack them up if you have a favorite one, but just the way we came back
Yeah.
was just like.
Yeah, they're all like your kids, you know.
They're all
love,
kids. You can't pay. You love them differently.
You love them all differently, you know. And I just
true
remember
shit.
like being on the bus after the Atlanta game, and I get on the bus and it's you know, Bill's in front of me. It's myself and my wife and Josh McDaniels and his wife. I think Tom was in the back, and that was the only people on the bus. And Tom's on the phone. He's doing whatever he's doing. And I remember just sitting there and being like, did we win? Like, you know, because the Seattle game was like back and forth. Like you were kind of in the wave of the game. The Atlanta game, I didn't see Jules' catch till like 2 days later. Like, you know, like I never saw any of that because you were just like, next play, here's what we're doing, staying in the moment. And I'm looking at Josh. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I don't know what happened on your side. And like we're kind of looking at each other. And then Bill like turns around and goes, all right, look. He goes, we play these guys next year, and they're probably going to make this the opening game. So when we get back, can we make sure we go? And I'm like, I don't even know if we won.
Yo,
I was like, what are you
that's
talking
so
about? I was like,
funny.
what are you, I'm like, look at it.
Bill's
We're
on
like,
to the next one.
I was like, I don't even know if we won the game. And like we're talking about goods and bads and game plan stuff. It was insane.
Yo, that's insane.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, did
Yeah.
we win the game? Like, I don't.
That's
I
what
have
makes
no
Bill
idea.
next level.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, dude, if it weren't for you and Bill,
No.
man, I tell you what. I tell people all the time, if we lost that game and y'all didn't pull a rabbit out of your head, I wouldn't be doing this fucking podcast. I'd be somewhere hiding. So.
I can never thank you guys enough for letting me coach and, you know, try to help you guys play a great game. And I'm just like, players win games, man. I was just there trying to do everything I could to help. So I
We had a
appreciate it.
blast.
Yeah.
For the people who are wondering, New England was fun. And
We
this
had
is
fun.
my guy.
And,
I
well,
love
listen,
this guy.
I love Philly too. And Lane, like, he's the best.
Isn't he awesome?
He's-
you got to go
he's
meet the
the-
enemy. I was like,
Dude.
I got bad news. You're gonna like everybody. and so, and I know the
best.
guys loved having you, man. So
Yeah, it was
thanks
great
for coming
there.
on the pod.
Yeah,
man.
thanks so much. I appreciate it. It's great
And
to see
thanks
you.
for
Talking
eating lunch
ball,
with me
man.
all year.
Always. I had to make sure you're all right. And then we were still exiting up like, hey,
Wait,
what do you
one
think
more-
about this?
Yeah.
One more question.
Yeah.
It's a two-part question. As a coach, what's the worst kind of loaf you can have as a player?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Changes
Then is there any loaf you could think about as a coach in your career that you're just like, that was just awful?
I mean, sounds like this is a setup question, so I think hopefully Chris was probably loafing somewhere, and I'm trying to think of when was he loafing, and did I yell at him?
I wasn't trying to
not
go.
to loaf.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing for me on the loafs was, I know there's the whole change of speed thing, like
Yeah.
I get all that, but sometimes, like, you know, I've coached a lot of good players, and some of these guys are like, hey man, listen, I know I changed speeds, but I'm just telling you, I wasn't catching that dude anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
Yeah.
my fast speed is the same as my slow speed,
Yeah.
so there is no change of speed.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't really understand that stuff, so I got to trust you on it. But the thing that would make me the most upset is if they scored. Like, if it was something that was like, if something happened because we scored and I saw like you had a chance to impact the
yeah.
play, you know, like backside, you weren't really doing much, and all of a sudden it got out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we get in those modes where, and this is true, these guys were such good tacklers that honestly a lot of guys were like, oh, Chris got him, and I'd stop because he never missed.
Yeah.
Never missed. And then all of a sudden, like,
I wasn't a great
you but
I missed a lot of tackles.
we had
But that's
great,
why we had guys
great,
behind us.
We did, but we had great tacklers, and
Yeah.
then you'd like, oh, he's got it. And then you'd almost like lower your standard down
Yeah.
to play, and that's when I was like,
Yeah,
no,
because you
man,
relax and you're like, dude's got him.
He's
You
got
know
him.
how
He's
he's
good.
got
I'm like,
him.
no, you cannot lower your standard for your play.
Here's the in my opinion, as you know, I'm not a coach, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
this: fucking watching football a long time. The Ben Watson tackle against
05.
Denver,
05 champ. Yeah.
the
Playoff game.
those are the reasons.
Yeah.
You know, like
of it, yeah.
it's red zone for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's the hardest place on the field to score. If you can get a guy down at the 4,
Yeah.
it's not like there's no point.
No,
There's a whole
Yeah.
series of plays
Yeah.
you can get off the field. So
Yeah, I was upstairs on that one. I was 05 in the playoff game, and
I know
happened-
that's a turnover.
it
but
was
we're
it
talking
happened
about
here,
yeah.
and he lit it.
That was an amazing effort
It
play.
was unbelievable. I was like, oh my, he's gonna catch him.
No question.
I was like, he's going.
Hey, Jared Verse was getting it in one of those games this year,
Yeah.
bro. He can run a little bit
He
when he
can
opens
run.
it up.
He can go.
I'd love to see the effort.
Yep.
Matty P, thank you.
I appreciate you
for
guys
your
so
effort.
much. Well, thanks so much for having me. You
Here
guys,
in New
you guys are
Orleans,
the
bro.
best,
Great, man.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Hey, and
Appreciate
that
it.
concludes. In a second we got to do one more thing, but that concludes the live interview portion. We're going to be changing a few things around. Hang with us for a second. Matty P.
Awesome, man. You guys are the best.
Happy hour hot seat, fellas.
Oh, happy
Happy
hour
hour
some
hot
drinks,
seat.
courtesy of Smirnoff.
Happy hour hot seat.
Go.
We got the hot seat right here for you, Dave.
Dave
Oh
and
my
Casey
gosh.
have been hanging out with us all
Espresso?
week.
Oh,
Take an espresso
espresso. Espresso poppy right here.
We have the espresso martinis.
Golly, that's good.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, sun's down. I don't see the sun anymore.
tell.
Hey,
this
thank
is-
y'all very much. Hey,
This
guys,
is
mug
good.
up the camera real quick. Camera's right there. MVP's right here.
Best in the business.
MVP.
This week. They're the best. We got a gator on a rack outside, so
Yeah, we do.
gator on a rack.
This
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 shout
is
out to
the-
Smirnoff. Shout out to Live Fire. I mean, shout out to all our sponsors.
Airbnb,
Yeti, Lovesac,
Kingsford,
Airbnb, Garage
Yeti,
Beer,
Garage,
BetMGM,
Garage Beer.
putting it all on.
Dude, I mean, just some quality brands, quality people. And shout out to the production team down here for getting this together. I just wanted to take a fucking bow. Tanner, Reed, Nolan, Taylor's back in the building, Aiden, Mystery Man,
Nelly.
Jason's here.
Why are you afraid to say my name?
Well, because you're like a shadowy figure.
I'm not a shadowy figure.
That's my roommate, Jason Gallagher.
Yeah, we've been sleeping together, bro.
We've been sleeping in the same room. And then if I'm missing anybody, Ralph's back here, but Matt's here. Matt has been drinking Smirnoff. I've been drinking Smirnoff. I love Smirnoff. Hey, these guys bust their ass. So whenever you see a show and you're like, man, those guys make it look easy, it's easy because of them. You know, I was saying this last night to Jason. The easiest part of this business is having the conversation. The hardest part is all the shit that these guys do outside of it and propping us up and making us look good. So appreciate them. They barely slept. I walked out of this room last night at 3:30 in the morning, and Tanner was fucking working, dude. And I told him, go to bed. But they are churning out. So thank y'all so much. And thanks to the chat. We got that longest tailgate tomorrow. Smirnoff.
If you're in New Orleans, come hang out with us. We're going to be chilling.
What time?
One to six.
1 to 6.
1 to 6. We will be on stage
tailgate.
3 to 6. That's when you'll see
Next
these guys
time you
hanging
see
out.
us.
2 to 5. 2 to
Next
5.
time you see us, we're going to look like fucking vampires, dude. Like,
I feel great.
I feel great too.
I'm going to go take a nap. Cheers.
And hey, if you want to
Cheers.
RSVP for tomorrow, go to Smirnoff.com. You can learn more. We also got some. You got the link in our Instagram bio. 2 to 5. Come hang out. This is a Smirnoff happy hour here.
Come
Hot
hang
seat.
out. Hot seat.
Shout out to the locals.
Shout out to locals. All right. Golly, my head hurts.